is a special presentation of Fox Sports Net. Rivalry weekend may be past, but there's still a score to settle in the desert Southwest. The 7th-ranked Arizona Wildcats have had a super season. A 10-1 record has them one victory away from a possible New Year's Bowl game in Pasadena. But there's one team that would love to deflate their dream season, the Arizona State Sun Devils. 1998 hasn't been much of a fiesta for Bruce Snyder's team. However, a victory today would give ASU sweet revenge against the team that rearranged their bowl picture just 1 year ago. It's time for one of college football's most heated rivalries. Arizona State, Arizona. Next on Fox Sports Net.
Welcome to a special edition of Fox Sports Net's College Football Saturday, coming to you from Tucson, Arizona, where the fans are fired up for Arizona and Arizona State. And in moments, things will heat up inside Arizona Stadium, where nearly 58,000 have convened for the 72nd meeting between the two schools. An electric atmosphere here in Arizona Stadium. Kevin Frazier, along with my partner, the Hall of Famer, Kellen Winslow, and as always, the tight end is always open. You know, Kellen, when you talk about Arizona, you talk about Arizona State, you're talking about two schools with a huge rift between them, almost as big as the Grand Canyon. For the Arizona Wildcats, huge implications in this game. And one of the seniors, a very prominent player, said that a loss today would be a catastrophe.
It would be a catastrophe, Kevin, because Arizona's had an outstanding season. 10-1 on the year. The only loss coming to UCLA, who we know is ranked number 2 in the BCS. Arizona's number 7 in the BCS. A loss today would knock them out of contention for a potential Rose Bowl bid, and this noise is deafening.
It's unbelievable atmosphere. As we all know, Arizona, the only team who has never been to the Rose Bowl, and Arizona State would love nothing better than to knock them out of the party. Bruce Snyder and his team, he said it's now down to a one-game season, Kellen.
Yeah, it is a one-game season for Arizona State. You know, they came into this season with a lot of potential. Some polls had them ranked as high as number 4, and they were going to play for the national championship in their own backyard in Tempe. Has not turned out that way, but a win today against cross-state rival Arizona will make everything in Tempe seem a little bit better.
You know, how bitter is this rivalry between these two schools? Well, Danny White, the former Arizona State quarterback, says he still can't stop and spend the night in Tucson. Kellen and I will return at halftime. We're going to enjoy this game in this electric atmosphere. Right now, let's get it up to the guys who are calling tonight's game, and that's Steve Bizniak and Tom Ramsey. Gentlemen.
Thanks, guys, and happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Well, how many times you see a top 10 team have 2 main quarterbacks lead them to a major bowl? Dick Tomey, the head coach for Arizona, said Ortiz Jenkins and Keith Smith have been both unselfish and very talented in getting them this far.
Well, it's wonderful because both Smith and Jenkins like each other as well. They've done a great job operating that Arizona offense, and each is able to put up big numbers and also a lot of points on the board when called upon.
Ryan Keeley had arthroscopic surgery. He's the quarterback for Arizona State just 2.5 weeks ago. But how healthy is he?
Well, he's healthy enough where Bruce Snyder feels comfortable allowing him time at center tonight, being the starter. But, Steve, what they are going to do, they're going to taper the offense, give him a little more of a reduced package, operate that offense effectively.
All right, we call it the duel in the desert. It is the battle of Arizona and Arizona State. It is a huge game for the Wildcats. It could mean a Rose Bowl. And the mascots are already battling on the field. We'll be right back.
With advanced technology and traditional reliability, you have to admit, it bridges the gap quite nicely. The 99 Accord from Honda.
Do you wish you had more closet space? Are you tired of wrinkled clothes? Ironing is a waste. Then you need Hook and Hang, the incredible wrinkle-free space-saver system that gives you 10 times the closet space in seconds. Simply hook on any closet rod, then hang on your garments. One Hook and Hang holds up to 12 garments. Close the arms, and presto! In seconds, you'll have 10 times more closet space. It's like adding an extra closet to your home. Best of all, your clothes stay neat and wrinkle-free. But that's not all. Each Hook and Hang comes with 8 extra hooks for even more space. Hang handbags, organize ties, belts, and more.
Welcome back to a sold-out Arizona Stadium for the 72nd meeting between Arizona and Arizona State. The Wildcats at 10-1, the Sun Devils 5-5. Both teams have had 2 weeks since their last game, and our sideline reporter Paul Sunderland says it helped heal the wounded. Paul.
Well, no question about that. Arizona State coming into this rivalry game needs all they can get from J.R. Redmond, one of the most feared runners and all-purpose backs in all of college football. But go back to October 22nd against Stanford, suffered a severe ankle sprain. It has lingered, but now finally, and he told me just about a half an hour ago, he says, Paul, I'm about 90%, and in this game, that's probably enough. He's going to carry the ball a lot, but look for Dan Cazzetto, offensive coordinator, to get him the ball out of the backfield in passing situations, try to get him into the open. Back to you guys. Have a good one.
Thanks very much, Paul. And Arizona has won the toss. They have elected to receive. So Stephen Baker, with the great leg, the redshirt freshman from Bakersfield, California, will kick off with Chris McAllister and Jeremy McDaniel. And it is a short kick. It is covered by Arizona at the 18-yard line. And I mean really covered. He's still not getting up. Well, Arizona, we talked about their two-headed quarterback. We will start in the first quarter with Keith Smith, the junior from Newbury Park, California. He has completed 69% of his passes this year. That would be an Oregon record. His offensive line is underrated. Edwin Militalo goes 6'4", 346. He's 24 years of age, and he is a real leader. Of the skilled players, you've got to watch Trung Candidate. Already this year, 932 yards rushing. He has a chance to become the first Wildcat ever to lead the Pac-10 in rushing. Kelvin Ifan is his fullback, and Ifan has run for 16 touchdowns this year. Well, Robert Bonillas, a backup outside linebacker for Arizona, hurt himself on the kickoff, and he's the man who is slow in getting up. He is the senior from Nogales, Arizona. Arizona State, we told you, started the game at 5-5. Arizona at 10-1. Sun Devils lost their last game 2 weeks ago to Eugene, to the Oregon Ducks, 51-19. There you see how he twisted his ankle.
Well, and I tell you, on that kickoff return, Steve, when you have two great returners back there, I don't know if you really want to come out and fall on the ball inside your own 20, but with the likes of McAllister and Northcutt back there, but that's what they did, and Bonillas able to walk off under his own power.
Well, Bonillas crumpled under his own weight, as now he will be helped off. But this is the 72nd game. Arizona leads the series 41-29. The first meeting was in 1899, and they played it on Thanksgiving Day. Arizona State at that time was called the Territorial Normal School of Arizona. They won 11-2, and after the ball game, both teams got together for Thanksgiving dinner. I don't know if you could do that anymore.
Sounds like a special occasion.
We've got a special occasion here in Tucson. These guys flat do not like each other. And Smith, the former infielder in the minor leagues, hands off to Trung Candidate. And Candidate is up past the 20-yard line for the tackles made by Mitchell Friedman. The defensive line for Arizona State, Aubrey Battle moves from defensive tackle to end because of so many injuries they've had on that line. The linebackers are very good ones, but Adam Archuleta leads the league in tackles with 71, and leads the team. And then you've got Mitchell Friedman. Here is Dennis Northcutt in trouble. Northcutt getting out of bounds at the 15-yard line, and it's going to be a long third down.
Well, they do a quick huddle this time. They just got back up the line of scrimmage and made the plays. Take a look. The guy who has to come up big today, of course, is Mitchell Friedman.
Friedman and Kareem Clark. Now, Friedman is a hitter, but he has so many injuries. But Kareem Clark playing for Jawan Cherry because Jawan missed a couple of classes, and Coach said, we're going to go with Kareem, who has been attending more. may be picked on early, but right now it is a 3rd down and very long, 16 yards to go. Let's see if Arizona State blitzes. They're showing a 4-man rush. And that is all the ring. Smith is sacked back at the 10-yard line, so the Sun Devils start beautifully defensively. Tomey, who has had such a wonderful year, now in his 12th season, had to watch this to open 3 and out.
Well, I tell you, Arizona State has been much maligned all year with a lot of injuries, but when you look at all the team stats, they're right up in the top echelon with all the numbers. Bring on Ryan Springston.
And he hits it, but a line drive kick, allowing Halpin for a return. He is down at the 50-yard line. A 39-yard punt. But Arizona State will start with outstanding field position at midfield. As a matter of fact, at the 49 of Arizona. There's Ryan Keeley. He's twice this year been hurt with a concussion, with a knee, but he's thrown for almost 1,700 yards. Troy Davis on the right side, so important because that's where Keeley has been hit and sacked so many times this year. Lindsey Jackson, the great senior. The NFL really likes him. 37 catches this year. 4 have gone for scores. Keeley's going right to the air. It's to Craig Spann, and Spann is to the 45-yard line and gets about 7 yards in the play. Chris McAllister is the great cornerback, perhaps an All-American, and he'll have up front Keone Frazier, a true freshman from Hawaii who's been such a pleasant surprise and might be the defensive newcomer of the year. Marcus Bell has been outstanding, a junior, 118 tackles this year. And watch for McAllister. They'll have him on an island, single coverage throughout the evening. They'll run J.R. Redmond. There is Marcus Bell.
I have a feeling you're going to hear a lot of "there is Marcus Bell" this evening, because in their scheme of things, Marcus Bell is supposed to be the lead tackler, and he just is, because he lines up very deep in that inside linebacker spot. They play the flex up front, and what it allows him to do is come up and make plays just like that on J.R. Redmond in the backfield.
They just praise about his play. He is a junior from tiny St. John's, Arizona, right on the New Mexico-Arizona border. It is a 3rd down. Passing situation for Keeley. He whips the pass, completes the first down to the 32-yard line. Matt Sircone, the backup tight end, 13 yards and a first down for the Sun Devils. That's Todd Heap, excuse me. Not Sircone. Sircone is 88. Todd Heap is 80.
Todd Heap coming across underneath, and they're able to get him the ball just on a drag route. He makes a great catch, and in coverage is Marcus Bell coming across the middle there. This was against Oregon. 4 catches for 99 yards.
So Keeley goes right back to the air. And look at this. It's J.R. Redmond. Redmond to the 10 and up and into the 9-yard line. Well, Tom, you said they might empty the bucket, and they are turning it over right from the beginning.
Well, I'll tell you what I like about this play. I ran this one in the park yesterday at the Thanksgiving Day football game. It's a hook and ladder right there. Get the ball, pitch it to J.R. Redmond. Here he comes. He's up the field. What a great call by the offensive coordinator, Dan Cazzetta, along with John Pettis and Bruce Snyder. Empty the bucket.
He likes the beginning. A flag has been thrown even prior to the snap. The 25-second clock was down to 9. There's Dan Cazzetta. He had a chance to visit with Dan in the hotel lobby and on the field before the game.
Start by the offense.
Well, you know, Dan, I tell you what they want to do. They want to establish the run, but they're going to take every chance they can. This is a win at all cost game for them. They know it. Everyone in the state of Arizona knows it. I think across the nation knows it. But you have to come in and you got to utilize one guy, number 21, J.R. Redmond.
First and goal now from the 14 after an illegal procedure call. Keeley gives it to Redmond, and Marcus Bell is there to blow up the blocking. And then the tackle finally made it the 11, so it's 2nd and goal from 11 yards away. The Redmond running for 812. He was so healthy until the Stanford game. And ASU beat the Cardinal in overtime, but Redmond hurt his ankle and never has come back.
No, he hasn't, but you know, he has has in the sense that he still leads the Pac-10 at number 11 in the nation with 161, almost 162 all-purpose yards a game. So you see how dangerous he is once he touches the ball.
Keeley stepping up, fires, broken up beautifully. Chuck Rich, the strong safety, makes it 3rd and goal from the 11.
Well, Ryan Keeley shows great patience in the pocket. He may not be as apt to run with that bad knee. And when I say bad, of course, he had the scope on November 9th, right after the Cal game. But the ball, again, just a little behind the receiver in this game of inches. I tell you, that's all that counts.
Now Bruce Snyder will send 3 wide receivers to the left side, a lone tight end right. And Keeley, he will jump it up, and right there to meet J.R. Redmond with a beautiful open field tackle is Deshaun Polk, the flex linebacker.
Well, what's amazing about Dick Tomey's defense is that it has such great team speed. Polk is actually lined up over center. He's man-on-man with J.R. Redmond, and as soon as Keeley gets the ball out to Redmond, Deshaun Polk able to make the hit.
It's almost like they told Polk, don't buy the fake. Wherever 21 goes, that's where you go. Here's Stephen Baker from 26 yards out. And Baker has it up and good, and Arizona State has taken a 3-0 lead on their first offensive possession.
GTE caller ID, you'll know exactly who's on the line.
Nope, not the kids.
So you can decide whether to pick up or not.
Mom? Dad? Home early. Hello? Is anybody here? Hello?
Why did the frog cross the road? He didn't. One of the greatest video game heroes is back. Frogger on CD-ROM. He's revised, rebuilt, and ready to hop like never before. For PC and the PlayStation game console.
Hey, buddy. You okay?
This holiday season, make espresso and cappuccino right in the microwave in less than 2 minutes with the Black & Decker Espresso Mio. The perfect gift for that special someone on your holiday list. Authentic espresso, microwave fast.
Hi, I'm expecting a fax.
Room 212 wants the ammunition to deal with her toughest clients.
Nothing. Hi. Davies, 212. I called earlier.
Right, fax. It hasn't come yet.
I need it for a meeting.
Excuse me, Miss Davies? Just came in.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone.
Business services by Marriott. When you're comfortable, you can do anything.
One of the reasons Arizona has gone 10-1 to open the season is they have had very good health, but they have just lost backup linebacker Robert Benitez for the rest of this ball game. He sprained his right knee and has been taken in for x-ray. So Dick Tomey, who does have strong linebackers, is not that deep at that position. He has Bell, Sprott, and Polk as starters. And there you see McAllister and McDaniel, both exciting return artists. Chris McAllister took one back 100 yards in his career for a touchdown, and that's blazing speed. Those you just saw were the keys to victory. And going to one knee is Chris McAllister, and he will bring it out to the 20-yard line. So this has been a brilliant series that has gone since 1899. Let's go back to 1985, trailing 13-3 in the third quarter. Arizona forces a fumble on an Anthony Parker punt return that Don Vians recovers for a Wildcat touchdown. Arizona's backs is at Dejas, kicks the game-winning field goal from 32 yards out with 1:43 left in the game, and Arizona beats Arizona State 16-13, keeping the Sun Devils out of the Rose Bowl. Well, the tide is turned right here because it's the Wildcats that want to go to their first Rose Bowl ever, and it's Arizona State that would like to keep them out. There is a flag down in the field. Meantime, Dan Cazzetto talks with his offense. The ball will be at the 10-yard line, and Tom, what was the flag about?
Actually, personal foul on the Arizona Arizona return team, so they'll start at their own 10-yard line. Keith Smith again lining up a quarterback.
And Arizona started miserably on their first offensive possession, and it doesn't start well here. Here's Tron Kennedy. Has the first down, and he's out past the 25-yard line. 17 yards in the play. He has been a big play guy in his career, as candidate this year alone has 11 plays over 30 yards.
And all he needs is 68 to reach that 1,000-yard barrier. Right now he's tied for third in the Pac-10, 93 yards a game, and his explosiveness is something that is just remarkable. And I tell you, following that big offensive line, it makes it awfully lucky. Right there you see the other 2,000-yard rushers in the Pac-10, Kevin Brown at Washington State and Kenny Simonton, of course, from Oregon State, doing it last week against their rival, Oregon.
Keith Smith, deep, Brad Brennan, look at this! Brennan's gone! yards. They go 90 yards in 2 plays, 17 by the running back candidate. Then 72 as Dick Tomey calls for the bomb, and Smith finds his man, Brad Brennan, wide open. The point after touchdown is good by Mark McDonald, and Arizona, with big plays, has taken a 7-3 lead.
Jeff Foxworthy is back.
If she ain't happy, you ain't happy. And if she ain't happy long enough, you're going to be unhappy with half your stuff. Sophisticated people have retirement plans. Rednecks play the lottery. Well, ladies, tonight I will tell you what we're really thinking. We are really thinking, I'd like a beer and I'd like to see something naked.
Totally Committed, the new album from Jeff Foxworthy, a hilarious Christmas gift.
Coming to Fox Sports News on your Fox Sports Net regional cable channel. After all, he's the man who coined the phrase, Gah.
Brad Brennan for 72 yards. We talked with Arizona State's defensive coordinator, Phil Snow. He said, we have to limit big plays. They did not.
And watch Brad Brennan. He's right here. He's just going to run a seam. And right there, Courtney Jackson, the corner, is just going to bust coverage. He should stay with it, but he flattens out. He saw something underneath, and all of a sudden, Keith Smith able to make the play over the top. Brennan outruns Mitchell Friedman, but I'll tell you, Mitchell Friedman gives Courtney Jackson an earful.
Well, you saw him turn around as soon as Brennan was 5 yards from the end zone. Say, what's going on? That's your man.
And I'll tell you why those things happen, Steve, is because they don't get a lot of practice throughout the week, and not all the defensive backs are in practice all the time, and therefore you have busting coverage.
Let's go down to Paul Sunderland.
Well, Steve, interesting. I was talking to Dick Tomey at midfield before the game today, and I said, aren't you concerned that Jeremy McDaniel and Dennis Northcutt are so predominant in your offense's receivers? He says, hey, don't forget about Brad Brennan. Last year when McDaniel was hurt, he led our team in yards per catch, and he may have a big game today. I don't know if I planted a seed, but boy, he went to him right away. Back to you guys.
Brennan for 72 yards and the touchdown. Now Keeley goes to work. His pass is incomplete. It was intended for Scooter Sprott, but you said something about Arizona State's defensive backs. All 4 defensive backs have been injured. All 4 have not been able to practice. They only play in the games. that may have been a factor to that touchdown.
And I really think it is. When you don't get the quality work in practice and you don't get that realistic look, it's just concerning to a head coach. And Bruce Snyder will be the first one to tell you, hey, you know, yeah, we've had some good practices, but we got to have 22 guys on the field going at it.
Keeley hands off, big hole for J.R. Redmond. He gets about 6, maybe 7 yards up near the 27-yard line. And all right, here's a great college hoops doubleheader. We have UNLV taking on Arizona State and Bobby Laser. Then super sophomore Lamar Odoms leads Rhode Island against Cal. And the Golden Bears, check it out next Saturday only on Fox Sports Net. Well, what has been a terrific Pac-10 football season goes right into basketball. Stanford is the pick in basketball, but there are about 9 other schools that are knocking on the door as well. Third down, 3 yards to go. Healy back to Redmond. Nope. He stopped. 3 and out. Wildcats have been so hot, winning 5 games in a row. They have allowed only 9 points per game in those 5 games. The opponents have only rushed for an average of 68 yards per game. And we're seeing a look at that flex defense, which is so strong against the run. Baker will punt it to Chris McAllister, who stands at his 30-yard line, and Stephen hits a line drive punt. And this is McAllister fumbling. Arizona State has a chance. And they have covered it at the 15-yard line. There is a flag down on the play. And it is against Arizona State. So Tom Ramsey, that's a penalty of about 65, 70 yards.
Boy, it's a huge penalty. And Dick Tomey told me before the game, turnovers and kicking game. And I asked him if he was going to put Chris McAllister back in punts. He said, yes, if indeed we have a short field.
Against the kicking team for an illegal formation. There are only 6 players on the line of scrimmage. 4th down will be repeated.
Only 6 players on the line of scrimmage. Boy, I tell you, the little mistakes are costly. But what Dick Tomey said was, if we have the short field, I'm going to put Chris McAllister back there. But all of a sudden, he's taken McAllister out and now has inserted Dennis Northcutt back to return the punt.
And remember what offensive coordinator Dino Babers said about Dennis Northcutt? He has good jukeability. Stephen Baker averaging better than 45 yards per punt. This guy's a great athlete. We had that game, Arizona and Washington, that was one in the Ortiz-Jenkins slip in the end zone, and the entire final drive where Northcutt had 3 great catches. Tom Ramsey was saying, get it to number 8. And here is number 8. And he's down at the 32-yard line. 62 yards on the punt, 14 yards in the return. Arizona State and Gray Rugemer are down by 4.
Launching.
Investigations into outer space with the Mars Crawler.
Launching.
Research into our planet's ancient origins through expeditions in Africa's Rift Valley.
Launching.
New treatments in the fight against cancer.
Launching.
Great students with the support of a great faculty. Launch your future at www.asu.edu. Launch your future at Arizona State University.
Rise and shine.
30 minutes of your morning, a day's worth of sports. Fox Sports News this morning. Weekdays starting at 6:30 on your Fox Sports Net Regional.
Now those...
They won't believe that one of their elite could have suckered them all this time.
If you're going to pretend like you don't care, don't look up.
Ethan Hawke.
They don't recognize me.
Uma Thurman.
If you're still interested, let me know.
Welcome to Gattaca.
Own a piece of NASCAR history. For the very first time ever, Dale Earnhardt in the Coca-Cola number 3 and Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the Polar Bear Coke number 1 share the track during NASCAR's race in Japan. Now you can own the collectible cars. Get them today at Pit Pass in Cartersville, but you must act now. Only a limited number are available. If you're a serious NASCAR collector, this is one offer you can't pass up. Call 770-386-1040 or visit Pit Pass at 103 South Dixie Avenue in Cartersville and get yours today. Pit Pass is your NASCAR superstore.
Arizona State's band is here in Tucson, Arizona, the home of the enemy. The Wildcats have a 7-3 lead on Arizona State. Wildcats with the football just across their 32-yard line. Arizona State showing an 8-man front. And someone jumped in the neutral zone. Smith took the snap from his center, but did the left guard move too early? We'll wait for the call from the official, Bill Richardson. He is the lead referee. No, they're saying Smith just went to his knee, and no one was in the neutral zone. Apparently, they got backs. So they just lose a yard at 2nd and 11. Sun Devils showing blitz, and they're bringing about 3. Smith reads it, tries to get outside, and he will be sacked. Cody Price, the backup inside linebacker, came blitzing from the middle.
Well, Arizona State has been one of the top defensive teams last year. They graduated 5 players into the NFL. They lost 8 total on that defense, but you got to bring the pressure right here. They load up the line of scrimmage. They put a lot of heat on Keith Smith. All of a sudden, Adam Archuleta really took the play away. He took the back out of the backfield and left Smith no place to throw.
3rd down and 20. Smith wings it to the 40-yard line. His man breaks the tackle and may get the first down. Well, Brad Brennan has come up with 2 big plays in this game, 1 for 72, and now he beats Courtney Jackson for a first down.
Boy, the reality is they spot him about a foot short. Keith Smith able to keep it alive right there. Keith Smith, of course, a great dual sport athlete as well, had signed with the Detroit Tigers as a shortstop out of high school, but he's able to fire the ball down the field to Brennan, who just comes up short, it appears, for the first down.
Brennan has just opened with a great game after just 12 catches this year. He has 2 in the ball game, 1 for 72 yards and a touchdown, and they will measure it. Keith Smith going to the sideline to talk with his offensive coordinator, Dino Babers, upstairs. And they do come up just short.
Oh, about 6 inches too short. And you know, you mentioned Brennan, Steve. It's interesting. Northcutt and McDaniel. Northcutt came in with 59 catches. McDaniel 57. Brennan's all the way down there with 12. But if you're Dick Tomey right now, I think you really, you know, he's going to go for it. I was going to say, yeah, I think you play field position and kick it away in this type of an emotional game.
You know, he has such confidence in his team, and he has a lot of confidence in an offensive line that really has stood up to every single challenge this year. Militalo, Steve Grace, Bruce Wiggins, Yusuf Scott, Nuya Sevilla, who is the right offensive tackle. Well, let's see how they handle that inside front. Let's see if Smith does go with the sneak. Look at that. He drew him offside.
Great job by Smith with the hard count. It appears he draws Arizona State offside, and that's just the veteran quarterback at the line of scrimmage.
By the defense, penalty results in a first down.
And Yusuf Scott, who has 93 pancake blocks this year, gets pancaked himself, but helps his team out.
I'll tell you what, it's not easy to push over a guy 340 pounds either, but Junior Ioane, he goes about 3 bills too. He's able to bring the sledgehammer a little bit.
So it's a first down after a 3rd and 20. Arizona pulls it off. Smith reads that defense. Again, he goes deep. This time it is intercepted by Courtney Jackson. Jackson has that left sideline. still on his feet to the 33-yard line. But Tom, Keith really threw it into coverage.
Well, I was going to say, you know, Keith Smith comes in, and he's number 2 in the Pac-10 in pass efficiency. And what that says is that you're making good decisions. Right here, a horrendous decision. You're trying to get the ball to Mike Lucky, the tight end, and Kelvin Ifan somehow, some way ends up in the same area. But Courtney Jackson, making up for an earlier mistake, comes up with a great interception. Then he gets some great blocks out in front. Able to bring back a pretty good return as well.
And Arizona State has to come up. Look at this pick by Courtney Jackson. But the Sun Devils have to come up with points here. Keeley going for the home run right away, and it's almost intercepted by Arizona. Philip Brown was back deep for the Wildcats. So was Kelvin Hunter, the cornerback.
Once again, trying to get the ball deep to Todd Heap, the freshman, 6'5" and 220. He can run down the field, too. That time matched up against a defensive back. They're able to knock the ball away.
Healy on 2nd and 10. He fires to a wide open wide receiver Kenny Mitchell, and he gets it to the 1-yard line. Sun Devils lost Tarek McDonald, so Mitchell and Lindsey Jackson are going to have to go this entire game.
Well, I'll tell you something about Kenny Mitchell, as Keeley does a great job hanging to the last second. Kenny Mitchell, out of all the great receivers Arizona State has, McDonald, Lindsey Jackson, Justin Taplin, Kenny Mitchell's the only ASU wideout to have over 100 yards receiving. Ryan Keeley just gets drilled that time by Joe Tafoya. But that's what they needed. They needed a big play emotionally to get him down inside the 5-yard line.
He goes to J.R. Redmond, and he gets to the goal line, but he does not get in. Redmond to about the 1-inch line. J.R. now comes out of the game, and they'll go to Devaron Hightower, his backup running back.
Well, this game is going to be won and lost in the trenches, and right here, the Arizona defense able to stack up that Arizona State line of scrimmage. But I tell you what I'd do, I'd hand it off to number 21 again.
Well, he's out of the game. How about Jurassic Pope?
You give it to Jeff Pope.
247, they give it to Pope, and he hammers his way into that end zone. A touchdown for Arizona State. They call him Jurassic Pope because he hits you like a velociraptor.
You know what's interesting about Jeff Pope? There's not a lot of great blocking fullbacks right now in college football, and Jeff Pope, really, his game is designed around lead blocking, and should be interesting where he goes after Arizona.
So the point after touchdown hits the goalpost, and Arizona State's lead is only 2.
Hi, I'm expecting a fax.
Room 212 wants the ammunition to deal with her toughest clients.
Nothing. Hi, Davies 212. I called earlier.
Right, fax. It hasn't come yet.
I need it for a meeting.
Excuse me, Miss Davies? Just came in.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone.
Business Services by Marriott. When you're comfortable, you can do anything.
GTE caller ID, you'll know exactly who's on the line.
Nope, not the kids.
So you can decide whether to pick up or not.
Mom? Dad? Home early. Hello? Is anybody here? Hello?
Arizona State has a 2-point lead at 9-7. A field goal by Baker. A touchdown by Brennan. And now a Jeff Pope 1-yard run has given the Sun Devils the lead. McAllister Frazier drops it at the 4, now picks it up, and Chris trying to dance that sideline where he's finally running out of bounds. Let's go down to Kevin Frazier for a game break.
Guys, a lot of folks focused on Ricky Williams today as he tried to break Tony Dorsett's Division 1A rushing record, and Ricky did it in style. In the first quarter, a 63-yard scamper. Ricky had a monster day, but the big news, the wrecking crew, Texas A&M, upset by the Longhorns. That will wreak havoc with the BCS. Gentlemen?
There is no question about that, Kevin, because now if UCLA wins their football game against Miami and Kansas State beats Texas A&M, I don't think the Wildcats can crawl ahead of the Bruins for the points.
Yeah, exactly. The BCS poll, A&M actually goes down since they lost to Texas. The K-State victory, or perceived victory over A&M, wouldn't be held in such high light.
And I know you saw that game. What a great comeback by A&M, but Ricky Williams has to get the Heisman Trophy this year. 6,279 career yards, and he breaks touchdown Tony Dorsett's all-time college rushing mark.
Well, I said it a couple weeks ago, and I was in studio with Kellen and Kevin, and flat out, I think, hand him to Heisman. He's done a lot for college football, but when you go ahead and set a mark like that D1 rushing record, hand it over.
Candidate goes for 2 yards. He might be a candidate for the Heisman Trophy next year. Here goes Trung, out and in, and he tries to get to the 20-yard line. Let's go down to Paul Sunderland.
Well, Steve, some bad news for Arizona State fans. J.R. Redmond, who was off to a very good start offensively, that last effort down by the goal line, re-injured that very, very sore right ankle, severely sprained against Stanford. We talked about it before the game. He's being re-examined right now. New tape will be put back on the ankle. But Bruce Snyder and Dan Cozzetta, head coach, offensive coordinator, respectively, said they will not take any chances. So we will have to see if he returns. Back to you guys.
The great All-American comes out. That means Devon, Hightower, Gerald Green, Larry Montgomery really have to pick up their running game. The blitz shown by Arizona State, and they come, and Smith picks it up with a quarterback draw. There is a flag down. Smith will go the distance, though. Was there a hold? 81 yards on the run. And the official already saying, bring it back, fellas. Courtney Jackson also hurt himself in the play, and there's Courtney, number 23. Do you know the average football team, college football team, has 400 injuries in a season? Arizona State has had 552 now.
Boy, I tell you, that means they put a lot of extra pages in those trainers' books.
Holding by the offense, penalty enforced half the distance from the spot of the foul.
Does Smith make that call himself? I mean, he sees the blitz coming.
No, I tell you what that is. That's just a great play call. They had it dialed up, but when you have a max blitz and you have a trap called, you can have no better play called. And Keith Smith, seeing where the pressure was coming from, just followed his blocks, but I believe one of the blitzers was held. I'm not sure if the call went against Mitchell Friedman, but he came out of his free safety position, lined up right over center and rushed the A-gap, and I believe was held.
Arizona has had too many penalties in this game.
There's a look at Phil Snow, the defensive coordinator for Arizona State, and I asked Phil before the game, I said, Phil, you got to empty the bucket today, and he goes, yeah. He goes, we're coming after him.
Arizona was penalized for 153 yards on 14 penalties in their last game against Cal. 2 weeks ago, they won the game 27-23, but it wasn't pretty. Now Ortiz Jenkins in the game, and he fires left for Dennis Northcutt. They may have taken Smith out of the game just to let him catch his breath. And there is another penalty flag down. There's Ortiz Jenkins, almost has thrown for 1,000 yards this year, 5 touchdowns. He's also run for 2. And really, if you talk about Arizona's season taking off, it was the one play in Washington, the flip in the end zone to end the game. That might be college football's play of the year.
Boy, you know, and we said at the time when he launched up in Seattle and went over into the touchdown, sometimes one play determines where you go during the season, and they took off to the next level.
The flag for holding is declined. Fourth down.
So Arizona, after running 81 yards for the touchdown, that play is called back because of holding. Another penalty pushes them back, and then another is declined. So Arizona really shooting themselves in the foot. Now they hand the football to Ryan Springston to try and get them out of trouble. I mean, he'll punt it to midfield. To Justin Taplin, a true freshman from Phoenix, Arizona, who can really fly. They don't lose much with this kid in the game for J.R. Redmond. He fumbles the football, though. But he first must catch it before he can run with it. Well, we talked with Dick Tomey of Arizona about the senior leadership and the way they have helped this team become a champion.
I think we're very lucky at Arizona and Arizona State because we have a rivalry game at the end of the senior year. I think there's some schools in the country, not any in our conference, but there's some schools in the country that they just finished the season against a team in their conference or a team on their schedule. But I think when you get to finish against in your rival game, I think it gives you an added incentive. I think it gives you an added chance to just feel good one more time, feel really good one more time.
Now DeVarn Hightower with the football, and he gains just a yard to the 40-yard line. But Dick Tomey was saying all of their seniors have had career years. And he's had a great career against the Sun Devils as well.
You know, they only have, Dick Tomey doesn't lose a whole lot of players. This is his youngest team, and this is the first opportunity for the University of Arizona to capture 11 wins over the course of a season. Dick had one other 10-win season that you would have hoped got him to the Rose Bowl, but by chances they never made it to the Rose Bowl either.
Here's Hightower for the first down. Hightower finally caught from behind at the 17-yard line.
Boy, a nice play this time, dialed up by John Pettis, the quarterback's coach, and really the play caller up in the press box. Just a nice little slip outlet screen to DeVarn Hightower. Marcus Bell was the one that made that tackle after a gain of 23.
And they really feel that Hightower has the ability to not only be a running back, but a wide receiver. And if they need a quarterback, he could do that because that was the position he played in high school. 1st and 10 from the 17 of Arizona. Hightower gets about 3 to the 14-yard line. But we also have to add this, that Chad Elliott is no longer with the ball club. Meantime, we come to you from Arizona Stadium in Tucson, Arizona. Our College Football Saturday studios is with us. Not only Steve Physiak, Tom Ramsey, and Paul Sunderland, but our great friends Kevin Frazier and Kellen Winslow are here in Tucson for the big game, the duel in the desert. Arizona State and Arizona. 2nd and 7. Blitz is on. Keeley reads it. And a touchdown. Craig Spann for 14 yards, but Keeley picked up the blitz, and he found his hot receiver.
Boy, Ryan Keeley once again able to hang in the pocket. Craig Spann just runs a little shake corner route, able to clip that corner flag. They give him the touchdown. Good call by the ref, and a great throw that time by Ryan Keeley.
Now Keeley will hold again. He really is the only quarterback left. They can go Steve Campbell. They're going to go for 2 here. And Chad Elliott, who was with the club, was asked to leave the Arizona State University football team. And so he will not be coming back. So Keeley is the man. The senior Steve Campbell is the backup. Arizona State has opened up a 15-7 lead, so Arizona getting pushed a little bit first half. And you really felt that Sun Devils had to come out and come out quickly to keep their emotion up.
Well, they did. They had a little bit of a... Well, I tell you what, what's coming up is Fight Time on Fox.
There's nothing like a night of great fights, and we have another terrific card on Fight Time on Fox. Check it out next Thursday night. Check your local listings.
I'll be there watching that.
We all will. All 58,000 of us here at Arizona Stadium haven't really enjoyed the start to this ball game. Field position really has been been the key. Arizona State has started 3 drives in Arizona territory this quarter, and they have scored in all of them. Courtney Jackson, the best cornerback that Arizona State has, is heading to the locker room on crutches. So now they're down to 2 backups. Kareem Clark and Phillip Brown and Juwan Cherry did not play in the first quarter, or will not play in the first quarter. So let's see how Arizona tests him when they're on offense. Keeley to the end zone. They say he was out of the end zone. Craig Spann. So it will remain 15-7. The Sun Devils over the Wildcats.
Pentium 2 processor.
Why do I rent from Enterprise? Very simple. No stress.
We'll be happy to.
They arrange to pick me up free, so I don't have to ask anyone for a ride. See? No stress. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up. Why did the frog cross the road? He didn't. One of the greatest video game heroes is back. Frogger on CD-ROM. It's revised, rebuilt, and ready to hop like never before. For PC and the PlayStation game console.
Hey, buddy. Okay?
Arizona State kicking off, and look at that blast by Stephen Baker. Completely out of the end zone. Arizona, the number 7 team in the nation. Down by 8 points early in the first quarter. Tom, this really has been an interesting series, and Arizona wanting to get fired up, but they were in different roles last year. It was Arizona that needed to win the ball game to get to a bowl game. Bruce Snyder's club is in that same situation tonight at 5-5. If they win, they're in a bowl game. But last year, Arizona upset Arizona State when the Sun Devils had a chance to go to the Fiesta Bowl. That knocked them out. They went to the Sun instead. And ASU finished last year 9-3. Here's Trung Candidate. This guy has been a great breakaway runner this year, and he is cut down at the 45-yard line, but 26 yards on the play.
Steve, you mentioned a moment ago, really last year was a bit of a snapshot of what this rivalry is all about, and I tell you, it is such an emotional game. One team can ruin the other team's season, but yet the win for Arizona last year really propelled them into a great deal of success this year. But I tell you, one of the reasons why they've been able to rush the football so well, and that man right there, Trung Candidate, a huge reason.
Now first down from the 46-yard line. 3 wide receivers almost at the sideline. Smith will roll that way and throw it out of bounds. His tight end, Mike Lucky, looked to be the intended receiver because they have taken everybody else downfield.
Yeah, what's interesting, you know, they probably practice that play a couple times in practice, and what you don't really think of, no one sees Mike Lucky release in practice, but you never have an outlet for that particular play. That's what happened that time. Keith Smith, a bit handcuffed, having to throw the ball out of bounds.
So Dick Tomey, so proud of this ball club. He said this has been such a wonderful year that he's not going to let anything happen, even a loss to Arizona State, disappoint what has been a truly marvelous year for the Wildcats. And Kelvin Epon goes up the middle, and Slash is very close to a first down. The mark will be important here. Epon is one of their great leaders. He's one of the seniors who's lifted this team up.
Well, he really is, and you know, he's one of the tough guys too. Dino Babers, of course, the offensive coordinator, has said, you know, pound for pound, he may be the toughest guy on the team, and he's just a remarkable athlete. Of course, dual sport athlete as well, played basketball, and not too shabby of a basketball team out here in the desert.
Pretty good.
Coach Olson, but right there you see he just comes up a little shy of that first down. But, you know, this game being what it is, I'll tell you, it's nice to to have running backs like Ifan and Trunk Candidate. I know how comfortable Dick Tomey feels over the course of this game, and I know Bruce Snyder, with the loss of J.R. Redmond in this game, it's going to factor in at some point.
Well, on the goal line, they have always gone to Ifan, and this is a goal line type situation. So Candidate goes back to the sideline. Ifan just came back to the lineup, and rushing the last 5 games, they've been averaging 252 yards per game. Third and inches. Ifan is the I-back. Kelvin gets the call, and he's stopped. They do not get the first down. It'll be 4th down and about 1.5 yards now. And a great job defensively by Junior Ioane and Aubrey Battle.
Well, I tell you, Arizona State does a great job of stuffing the run, and Ioane able to just break through and get in there. What's interesting about this matchup in rushing offense in the Pac-10 the last 2 years, Arizona State has been the leader in rushing offense. Of course, Arizona this year is tops in the rushing offense, almost 200 yards a game, and I think that's a challenge to that Arizona State defense, Steve. They say, hey, you know what? Bring it on. Try to run the ball against us. We're going to try and stuff you.
And they're going for the fake. And they run it up the middle, but do they make it? The mark will be awfully important. They need to get almost to the 43-yard line. If the mark is at the 44, they'll come up shy as Scooter Sprott took it up the middle. He's a linebacker, and you see the up back.
They just short snap it to Scooter Sprott. He's got a couple blocks, although he didn't read them. More or less ran right back into the teeth of that defense. I think it's going to be awfully close again. The referee's calling for a measurement. Looks from up here as though they might be a little short.
Boy, that'd be a great swing because field position has been so important in the 3 Arizona State scores, and it is short. And the Sun Devils still have emotion on their side. They have played well. They have an 8-point lead with 1:19 to go in the first quarter. Give an injury update for one of Dick Tomey's linebackers. Robert Bonillas has fractured his right kneecap. He will not return, obviously. Arizona State's Courtney Jackson has been taken into the locker room. His right ankle is being iced. Then they'll tape it. They say he should return, so that's good news. And J.R. Redmond had the right ankle taped, and he's coming back in the game. He'll go wide to the right side. Single coverage on J.R. Keeley picks it up, loops it downfield. Redmond, no. Well, you can see Keeley looking out there, and he goes, we've got one guy covering number 21. Fox Sports News Prime Time's your source for college football news. Who's making a run for the Heisman? What teams are moving up in the rankings? Which contenders remain undefeated? We've got college football covered like no one else. Fox Sports News Prime Time tonight after the game. They'll be showing you highlights, obviously, of that Nebraska victory over Colorado and the great matchup between Texas and Texas A&M. DeBarron Hightower moves his way past the 45-yard line out near the 48. DeBarron Hightower out of Richardson, Texas. He was an option quarterback in high school, and Bruce Snyder said he's still learning how to run that I-back position.
Yeah, he really is. He doesn't have a lot of yards on the year. In fact, 253 net yards and a 3.8-yard average. So he's gotten a bit of the workload, but they've really relied on J.R. Redmond. And right now, you're going to have to rely on the arm of Ryan Keeley as they have 4 wideouts trying to spread that Arizona defense a little bit.
Lindsey Jackson covered by the All-American McAllister. Keeley goes downfield. Incomplete. Intended for Tarek McDonald. Keeley and McDonald, high school teammates, who are record setters in the state of Arizona, and I'm sure Keeley is glad to get McDonald back in the game after Tarek went out for 2 series with injuries.
And what's interesting so far, Arizona State with the lead right now 15-7. They've been able to play within their offense. They've kept it a little bit more simpler for Ryan Keeley's return, and had pretty good field position.
Baker hammers a line drive. Northcutt has a chance. From his 10. He's wrapped up. Oh, what special teams play by the Sun Devils. Let's go down to Kevin and Kellen.
Keller, are you surprised at how easy? Keller, are you surprised at how easy it's been so far for Arizona State?
No, I'm not, Kevin. Arizona State's a good offensive ball club. They're coming out and playing hard. They're just taking it to Arizona. All conventional rules are out the window. They're going for it every way they can.
All right, let's get it back upstairs to Biz and Red.
And Kevin and Kellen will be with us at halftime to update us on all of the college football scores and highlights from that great Texas A&M game. But there were so many publications in the preseason that
you know what,
Arizona State to play for the national championship in their own backyard, the Fiesta Bowl. But a defense that was too young, a team that was too injured, just has really come up empty. And here's Jeremy McDaniel on a great catch. He breaks free past midfield and is to the 38-yard line. 51 yards in the play. It has been the big play Arizona offense.
Boy, it really has. Jeremy McDaniel, the other half of that great receiving core, he and Dennis Northcutt, and again, the ball just more or less tossed up. It's really a jump ball, and he beats Jawan Cherry, number 3, the corner, just locked on, man on man. Jeremy McDaniel, 58 catches in the year, 89 in the career. One of the seniors you were talking about earlier.
That is the end of the first quarter here in Tucson. The Sun Devils have the lead, though, at 15-7 over the number 7 Wildcats.
It's not a bite in 4 hours.
I got another one. I'm Hank Parker. If you want deep sea fishing action, get Radica. Here, you bring him in.
He's taking a lot of line.
Radica, it's just like the real thing. Fish combo, Kona, Great Barrier Reef, marlin, sailfish, swordfish, they strike all the time.
I got an 800-pounder.
Game shakes when they strike. Find them with pump and reel action.
So who needs a boat?
Get deep sea fishing. Another great game for Radica, maker of the original lunker and bass fishing.
The Maglite flashlight. Brighter, tougher, made in America. Maglite, the perfect gift to brighten the holidays. Maglite.
This Cavalier Minute is brought to you by Team Virginia, committed to bringing excellence to Virginia athletics.
The Virginia men's basketball team returned from the Top of the World Classic in Fairbanks, Alaska with a 1-2 record. Despite 2 close defeats, the players and coaches came home with some fond memories of the northern frontier. The off-court activities included a sled dog tour. And a trip to the North Pole.
I have a young son in the daughter your age, and it's important that they make good choices in their lives. That make good choices with drugs and with alcohol and doing the right thing.
The Cavaliers proved to be a hit with the kids and with Santa Claus. And while the sights of this winter wonderland were enjoyable, everyone agreed it was much more pleasant to be inside, whether that was on the court or just off of it.
Arizona State has a 15-7 lead at the end of the first quarter. J.R. Redmond, Courtney Jackson out in our Burger King game summary. Those are the guys injured. Arizona State has had marvelous field position. Keeley has thrown for 114 with Smith for 143. Both quarterbacks have started well. But Smith has been averaging 47 yards per completion. Just threw one 51 yards to McDaniel. Now Smith rolling out. He'll run. He's got great speed and almost gets the first down.
You know, he does have great speed, and of course that is the greatest equalizer of all. He's able to outrun number 58 Derek Ford, and they had the right defense called that time. Take a look at Keith Smith, his productivity, 41 rushes, 198 yards. So remember, he had a big one called back tonight on a holding call. Over 70 yards called back. They caught Arizona State in a blitz right now. I think Arizona State again has to put a little more pressure on the quarterback. Bring the blitz.
They do bring 3 extra linemen. Smith sends it to the end zone. Northcutt cannot hold on. He had beaten Jawan Cherry, the cornerback, who is in single coverage. I mean, when you're rushing 4 and bringing 3 more, it's single.
Well, Phil Snow's defense is predicated on man-to-man defense, and again, they have exactly what they want. Man-on-man, Juwan Cherry locked up with Dennis Northcutt, and Northcutt just not able to come down with that ball again. Another well-thrown ball by Keith Smith.
3rd and 2. Heavy load offense with 2 tight ends. Smith will run it. Ifan slams ahead and looks to get the first down. Junior Ioane, the defensive lineman, gets off the stack. They needed to get to the 31. They got it just inside that 30. Sun Devils have had a young defense. They lost 8 starters, and they've had all 4 of their defensive backs injured in this month. Now Smith goes shotgun. As they break that huddle, he'll send 3 wide to the left side. Smith will run to the right. Keith is to the 25-yard line, then wrapped up from behind. Juwan Cherry just kind of collared him and threw him out of bounds.
And you know what that play is? That's really Keith Smith with a check with me at the line of scrimmage. They have 3 wideouts over here. They got everyone going this way. Keith Smith has a check with me to take off and run around right end. He just saw how they're lined up, and you see he just takes, it's a potluck. You can run left or follow your blockers or take off right and really more or less run a naked bootleg without any blockers and just try and use your speed. But that time he's hauled down and out of bounds. It looks like Cherry might be hurt.
Sun Devil is hurt. So both starting cornerbacks are hurt. Jackson's in the locker room. Cherry is the other starter. He has now gone to the sideline after a fine defensive play because he knew he was the only man between Smith and the end zone. Well, it's November. The football season is reaching the stretch run, and it's time once again for the Pac-10's annual Rose Bowl ticket contest. Sign on to the Pac-10's webpage at www.pac10.org and enter to win 2 free tickets to the 1999 Rose Bowl game. That's www.pac10.org. And we're hoping to see that Wisconsin will play these Arizona Wildcats because UCLA needs to beat Miami to still stay alive in the BCS championship game against what could be Tennessee if they win the SEC title.
Interesting to bring that up, Steve, because not a lot of teams have locked up bowl bids. Of course, UCLA on top of the Pac-10. They're awaiting the results. Their December 5th game down in Miami. And really, Arizona won't know. Say if they have a victory tonight, they won't know. They really have to become fans of UCLA because they want UCLA to win, get into the Fiesta Bowl, so they have a shot at the Rose Bowl against Wisconsin, as you mentioned. Oregon, USC, Arizona State, Washington, all vying for bowl bids as well.
But Arizona wants this one to go to the very first Rose Bowl in the school's history. Smith on 2nd and 7. From Kennedy to the 20-yard line.
Boy, it's becoming a battle at the line of scrimmage right now. And Dick told me, Dick told me at midweek, he says this is really going to come down to who wants it worst in the trenches. And right now, he feels pretty confident. That big offensive line of theirs has been able to push a lot of people around, and they've set some rushing records offensively this year. But again, when you have a guy like Keith Smith who can run and pass, nice option.
Keeley backing up, looking downfield, has the man there. It is a touchdown, Brad Brennan. Did they say he was down at the 1-yard line?
Brad Brennan down at the 1-yard line.
Yes, his knee went down at the 1-yard line. So Smith just drilled one to Brad Brennan, who scored on a 72-yard pass earlier.
Well, right now, Brennan comes into the already tonight, 2 catches for 92 yards. Keith Smith throws a strike. That looks like a touchdown to me. But the referee says, no, you're down inside the 1. They just want Kelvin Ifan to have another rushing TD.
Well, the umpire called him down. Line judge went up with the arms. So now they'll pitch it out. will be a loss. Kelvin Ephon will be mugged out of bounds at the 3-yard line. That was a lateral. That's with the first really bad pass Smith has thrown other than the Jackson interception.
Keith Smith doesn't throw a lot of bad passes, but again, what this is, it's a lateral, and I tell you, credit Kelvin Ephon. He has the wherewithal to realize it's a live ball. He picks it up and just tries to do his best to get the ball as close to the line of scrimmage and the goal line as he can. But I tell you, this is where Ephon is so effective. Right between the tackles, hand the ball number 38 and let him get the tough yards for you.
Smith stuffed again at the 4-yard line. It was Eric Fields, the first-year linebacker from Las Vegas.
Well, Eric Fields comes in on that Arizona State defense. He's number 3 on their defense and tackles for loss, and chalk up another one right there. That's number 13 on the year for Eric Fields, and they like the way he's been playing, a very active outside linebacker.
Tom, when you've got a guy like Kelvin Ephon and you are first and goal at the 1, why do you do something fancy?
Well, I think they're just trying to get some different looks, break some tendencies, because sure enough, what they've done, they've handed the ball to number 38 enough. Arizona State knows they're coming.
It's 15-7, Arizona State. A crowd of 58,000 plus on hand at Arizona Stadium. The Sun Devils with an 8-point lead. 11.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Phil Snow's defense has come up twice on 2 big plays. Now it is 3rd and goal from the 4-yard line. Big Ryan Riley will set himself down right next to Junior Ioane. Smith looking. Blitz was on. Smith throws. It is incomplete, but there is a flag down in the end zone, and Jeremy McDaniel feels it will go against the defense. They brought Adam Archuleta, the outside linebacker, and boy, he was right in Smith's face.
Boy, he really was. They played, I tell you, they tried to get a little, just a little zig out.
Holding
sure enough.
by the defense against an eligible receiver. The penalty results in an automatic first down. Enforcement is half the distance.
When you put a lot of pressure, when you run the slant corner, Phil Snow not real happy, but sure enough, they caught the defensive back holding Jeremy McDaniel. Watch the pressure on Keith Smith from the backside. Adam Archuleta just comes flying and puts a lot of heat and drives Smith into the turf.
You know, and Phil Snow had 3 great defensive calls. His guys execute beautifully, and one guy makes a mistake with a hole. And now it's 1st and goal again. You give Arizona State that many chances, and you will get burned. Now we'll just go Hammer City with Kelvin Ephon, who has 16 touches this year, and he gets it to the 1-yard line. Let's see where they mark his forward progress. All-time Arizona record for touchdowns in a season set by Art Latino back in 1954, who had 24. Ephon was going for number 17.
Boy, look at that. Just at the point of attack, they just load. They got the heavy offense in. They got the 2 lead blockers, and the Arizona State defense says, come on, you're not going to get number 17 on us.
It was a true freshman from Scottsdale, Willie Daniel, that met him and just drove him back. Now 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line. Give it to 38 again. Let's see. No fullback this time, and he pushed his way in. Jimmy Wendler. Mr. Wendler's going to save that football.
Yeah, Jim Wendler, being in his last football game here in Tucson, just gets the short handoff and really follows Edwin Mulatalo, the big tackle, and Stephen Grace. Phil Snow not real happy. Not real happy. As you said, Steve, all of a sudden he had 3 great plays, and the one play he had coverage over the top. They got the penalty that gave Arizona the first down. Arizona now electing to go for 2 the point after.
This will be for the tie. McDaniel in motion, goes left, now back right. Smith looks his way, in trouble. And it is broken up in the end zone, so ASU still has the lead, 15-13, over the number 7 rated team in the nation, the Arizona Wildcats. Sideline of Paul Sunderland.
Well, thanks, Steve. A very special guest, and I think a very happy man this time of year. Tom Hansen, commissioner of the Pac-10 Conference. 5 schools already bowl qualified. Now, this is the first season for the BCS. As a commissioner of a certainly major conference, what is your reaction to the system?
I think it's created great interest in college football. Everyone's talking about the BCS standings. Who's going to go to which major bowl game? Can UCLA hang on ahead of K-State? And every game has great meaning, Paul.
All right, we'll send it back up to the booth for the kickoff and then continue our conversation.
And here is that kickoff. To the 1-yard line. Lindsey Jackson almost to midfield. A beautiful return by the senior wide receiver, Paul.
Well, like I said, it's been a super year for college football. Tremendous run back here by Lindsey Jackson. Let's talk, however, about Arizona's situation and UCLA's with respect to the Fiesta Bowl for UCLA and how that will affect Arizona with regard to the Rose Bowl, which is no longer a guarantee for their participation.
That's right. The Arizona fate would be in the hands of the Tournament of Roses. It would have to be invited to the Rose Bowl, which we sincerely hope it will be if it wins tonight, of course.
Would you be very surprised if Arizona did not get the bid should they win out?
Yes, I would be. I think the Tournament of Roses has indicated it really wants to honor the Pac-10 relationship, so Arizona would be in good shape.
How about as far as UCLA is concerned? So much has been made of all the computer machinations. We know what's happening with UCLA. They have to go down to Miami. If UCLA wins out, do your mathematicians tell you that UCLA will be in Phoenix?
It's not possible to tell because it goes to the opponents and the opponents' opponents. But I think the fact that they moved up on K-State this week really helped. And yes, I think UCLA will hold on.
All right, Tom, thanks for your time and congratulations on a great year.
It certainly has been a great year. Arizona is going to a bowl for the 7th time in the last 10 years. And now it's Arizona State trying to run the football. Lindsey Jackson will not get the first down, but his flags all over the place. 13 yards in the play to Lindsey.
And you know what the reality is, Steve? Given what Tom Hansen, the commissioner of Pac-10, said, and once we hear Bill Richardson deliver this message, I'll give you my thought. You know what? You got to wait till December 6th. There's a lot of football still to be played. Bruce Snyder, of course, his main focus is winning tonight.
Holding by the offense.
Sure enough, a hold right there.
Repeat the down.
Saw that hold, and sure enough, the flags came out. But the reality is, if UCLA, well, you know what? Teams in the Pac-10 start rooting for UCLA because that allows one more team to catch a bowl bid.
2nd and 20. Arizona State, almost 1,000 yards in penalties this year. Keeley may go down. He does go down. They brought Marcus Bell. And also the great rush from Anthony Thomas and Daniel Greer.
Boy, Arizona has such a great defense. They've rushed the edge really well. They put a lot of heat on Keeley. Joe Tafoya there as well, the other defensive end there to finally put the hit on Keeley. Remember, Keeley, as you take a look at the quarterback sacks, 1 today, 42 this year. Keeley tore up his knee last year against Arizona. He tore his ACL and was out the remainder of the year.
Now it's 3rd and a bundle. They'll go deep for the home run. Incomplete. No flags down, and Craig Spann thought he was interfered with. Spann with a touchdown earlier in this game to give ASU the lead. They lead by 2, but they're giving it right back to the Wildcats. A Wildcat offense that has been averaging 33 points per game, 3rd most in the Pac-10 this year. Baker to Northcutt. Stephen really gets into this one, but coming up is Northcutt. He fumbles the football, covers it himself at the 31-yard line. 39 yards in the punt, 6 yards in the return. We'll come right back with the Wildcats needing a field goal to take the lead.
The countdown has begun. The recruiting wars are heating up, and Fox Sports South has them covered. Join analysts Forrest Davis and Jamie Newberg Saturday mornings on Countdown to Signing Day for a comprehensive look at the top blue-chip prospects in the Southeast. Countdown to Signing Day, live Saturday mornings at 11 on Fox Sports South.
Would you like to win a home computer loaded with extras, or maybe a CD player for your car, or a new top-quality VCR for your home? Win these and much, much more in Comcast Christmas Sweepstakes. And winning is easy. Just watch in your mailbox for the Christmas Sweepstakes mailer. It's your entry blank to win thousands in prizes. Plus, it comes chock full of big discount coupons from area businesses. Use them to save a bundle on Christmas shopping. It's the Comcast Christmas Sweepstakes mailer. Look for it in your mailbox soon.
Are you in the market for a satellite dish, but worried those salespeople might try to sell you what's best for them, not you? Then you need to call 1-888-DISH-HELP. It's a free call, and we'll send you this free fact-filled report comparing all the satellite services. When it comes to shopping for a satellite dish, this is a great way to start. Don't rely on a salesperson to give you the information you need. Make sure you get the facts first. Pick up the phone and call 1-888-DISH-HELP. It's simple, convenient, and free. Call today.
A two-point ball game at Arizona Stadium as the Sun Devils cling to a 15-13 lead. Just want to remind everybody that coming up on the Marriott Halftime Report, I'll be joined by my partner, Kellen Winslow. We'll have scores and highlights from the other games around the nation. Plus, we'll hear from Bob Toledo, and we'll also check in on Ricky Williams' magical day. But right now, let's get it back to the guys calling the game.
And here is Trung Canady going up the middle for about a 7-yard gain. He now has 7 carries for 60 yards. And one thing Dick Kelmy told us about the running game, he said, we're not a great running team, but we have to be patient with the running game because this guy can break one on any single play.
Well, you know, Dick says a lot of interesting things. Dick told me, of course, he said, you know, Rams, he goes, you know, the best team doesn't always win, but the team that plays best will win. Well, Coach, you're right. You're absolutely right. Therefore, what it comes down to is execution during the course of the game. He wants to keep pounding that line of scrimmage.
Well, a new quarterback in Ortiz Jenkins, and he hands it off to Trung Canady, but right there to wrap him up is the outside linebacker, Archuleta. Stephen Trejo was there as well. And ASU will lose Courtney Jackson for the rest of the game, will not return because of a right ankle problem. It's women's college basketball on Fox Sports Net. Shamika Holtzclaw and the Lady Volunteers begin their quest for a 4th title, but first they have to face the aggressive Longhorns. Tennessee takes on Texas tomorrow at 8. Check your local listings for game time. 3rd down. Jenkins in the shotgun. And he's going to run. And O.J.'s got the 1st down.
Boy, talk to me about mobile quarterbacks, and I'll just point at Arizona's sideline. Ortiz Jenkins and Keith Smith, both with great sets of wheels. Really, this is similar to the play that Keith Smith scored on in the first quarter, but was called back because of a holding. It's really more or less a quarterback trap, if you will. And Ortiz Jenkins, a big kid, a 6'2", 224, at a Long Beach Jordan High School.
He ran the option there and is doing the same now with Arizona's Wildcats. A key pass that is broken up at the 30-yard line. Paul Shields, the fullback, came out of the backfield.
Well, and I'll tell you what's interesting. This is a great view because I was standing behind Ortiz Jenkins today watching him throw easy ups, which is basically what he's throwing right here. He's throwing an up route to Paul Shields, and the ball, you know, off offensive minds and offensive coaches and players always want to know how the ball comes out. Well, that means how does the ball come out of his hand? And I'll tell you, the ball just flies out of Ortiz Jenkins' hands. A very strong arm.
And he's going to run that draw again. Jenkins past midfield. Ortiz to the 37-yard line. The Arizona State defensive coaches were telling us early in the week when we said, do you have to contain them, contain the edges? And he goes, no, because they run the quarterback draw so well.
Yeah, look at how he reads. Just Yusuf Scott has a great block up front, number 72. Now, remember, this offense was put into place. Homer Smith, the great offensive mind, had been at UCLA, had been down at Alabama, came back, did a tour of duty with Dick Tomey as the offensive coordinator. Dino Babers, I asked him, how much is Homer's offense? He says 100%. We've just added to it, and they just have that much more arsenal.
Well, this is a different looking offense than we saw in the early 90s. This is Jenkins in trouble. He's going to have to throw it away. Intended for Northcutt, who comes up with a marvelous catch. And he just laid that out there, and I thought at first time he was throwing it away.
Ortiz Jenkins has been nothing short of spectacular on the season. And remember how he went to Northcutt earlier this season against the University of Washington with their blitzing defense as well. And right there, those two have hooked up quite a bit. Dennis Northcutt out of Dorsey High School in Los Angeles. 60 catches on the year, 58 last year. He just keeps climbing up the pass receiving charts at the U of A.
Northcutt goes wide to the right now. 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line of Arizona State. Jenkins to the sideline. Northcutt, nothing there. Oh, he gets drilled by Fright Night Friedman.
Boy, and if someone's got to play well and keep going on that defense for Arizona State, it's Mitchell Friedman. Just listen in.
Number 13, whose motto is be afraid, be very afraid.
And I'm surprised you don't hear with the air getting knocked out of Dennis Northcutt. Mitchell Friedman, take a look, first team all Pac-10 97, 95, 96. He was second team Pac-10. He's played a lot of football. His productivity's been off just a shade this year, but it's really no fault of his own. He's just been banged up a lot.
Jenkins takes the low throw. Now he'll tuck it under and go to the 10, to the 5. We almost saw a play like that win a game against Washington this year.
You know, I think Ortiz sees his buddy Keith Smith running circles earlier, and he says, you know what, I could do that too. All of a sudden he makes a great decision, touches the ball and protects the ball as well. Makes a couple moves, gets down into the 5-yard line. Being a 14 right now on the night. 3 rushes for 40 yards for Jenkins.
1st and goal from the 5. Oh, great surge by the defensive line. Led by the interior man, Joe Chester, the inside linebacker. And Steve Physiok, Tom Ramsey, Paul Sunderland, Kevin Frazier, Kellen Winslow with you at Arizona Stadium in Tucson, Arizona. We're taking the Fox guys on the road with us. Our Fox College Football Saturday studios are here tonight in Tucson. They'll be bringing you updates on all the college football scores and highlights. Wonderful game between Texas and Texas A&M. All that and more at halftime. Jenkins going to the end zone. Broken up beautifully this time by Jamel Reddy.
It really is a good play this time by Reddy because he's locked on another 15 right there, Jeremy McDaniel. The ball is actually throwing pretty well, and McDaniel becomes a bit of a defensive player. That's a good receiver right there. When he knows he's not going to come down with the ball, make sure the defender doesn't come down with it either.
Charge timeout, number 2 to Arizona.
So the Wildcats take their 2nd timeout. They have 274 yards total offense, but they still do not have the lead. Bear down on Fox, and that has always been a theme. Back in, I think it was the 1920s, in 1926, a guy by the name of John Salmon, who was the school president, was in an automobile accident, and his final words before he passed away were, "Tell the guys, coach, to bear down," and that has been the theme here at Arizona ever since. College Football Saturday on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by GTE, the official telecommunications consultant to the NCAA. One play by Ortiz Jenkins that so many in Tucson, Arizona said turned this season around, made this ball club a winner. It was against the University of Washington, and the Huskies had the lead. The 3 seconds remain. Jenkins went for it.
He does! He did!
And that turned the season around. And the coach was talking about the leaders on this team, the seniors, the McDaniels, and a kid named Jenkins. Now 3rd down, goal to go from the 8-yard line. Wildcats trailing by 2. It's intercepted. Mitchell Friedman.
Boy, and I tell you why he was rushed into that throw. An Arizona State defender comes hot off the corner. Right there, it comes over the unblocked, inside receiver, and Mitchell Friedman was there to pick up, and I believe it was Brennan who was lined up inside, rushed the defensive back that lined up over Brennan. Mitchell Friedman comes out of his free safety position there to make the play and the pick.
And Ortiz, he's upset. And he goes bangs heads with Adam Archuleta, the linebacker. Friedman with his 2nd pick of the year. So Fright Night has been a shocker for Arizona to start this game. Jenkins takes a seat next to his alternate quarterback, Keith Smith. And ASU will have the football from their own 10-yard line. The run, Jeff Pope. And he muscles his way in, but did they pick it? Did Scooter Sprott come up, or is the man down? It is a touchdown. Scooter Sprott just ripped it out of the arms of the running back, Jeff Pope, and went in untouched.
Boy, you talk about sudden change and big momentum shifts right here. Keone Frazier, number 56, stuffs Jeff Pope. Sure enough, the ball is on the ground early. Scooter Sprott there to just scoop it up, race into the end zone, touchdown, Wildcats.
The mistakes, too many of them by Arizona State this year. Almost 1,000 yards and penalties. And now 22 turnovers this year, 12 on fumbles. And Bruce Snyder wants a timeout. I'm sure he's going to say, fellas, we have to turn our motions right here. There's a lot of emotion on the other side. You've got to keep yours up and keep playing hard.
Boy, and Bruce has had to weather a couple storms just this season alone. Watch the ball right here come out. Sure enough, Scooter Sprott there to just play rugby, get inside the scrum, pick up the ball, and race into the end zone. Ryan Keeley was the only one that just had even a shot at him, but I don't believe Keeley saw it as well. Sprott just heads up on the play, able to pick up the ball and race in, touchdown for the score.
Well, stay with us at halftime for the Marriott Halftime Report with Kevin Frazier and Kellen Winslow. Again, they'll be talking about Ricky Williams' chase of Tony Dorsett's all-time career rushing mark in college football, and scores and highlights from that great Texas A&M game. There's Kevin and Kellen waiting for us down there.
They're right there. Bullseye.
Give us a wave, pal. Kellen, he's so happy Mizzou's going to a bowl game. Larry Smith turned it around for the Tigers.
Kellen's just happy anytime they throw the ball in the tight end. Are you kidding me?
Well, we haven't seen it go to the tight end that often in this ball game. Arizona will go for 2. Northcutt fumbles the football. Northcutt has it pounced away. And Arizona State stops the conversion. It is now 19-15. The Wildcats lead.
There's one place where 99...
Arizona's kickoff goes to the 15-yard line. Lindsey Jackson trying to bring it back. No flag on the play. It was almost a clip, but they do not call it. Well, let's go back to this great series, a game in 1987 with time running out and ASU in punt formation. Mike Shue fumbles the snap and illegally kicks the ball, which is recovered by Arizona's Chuck Cecil with 13 seconds remaining. 2 plays later, Wildcat Gary Costin kicks a 30-yard field goal to tie the game at 24. Chuck Cecil still holds the all-time career interception mark at Arizona with 21. Chris McAllister has 15, just 6 shy. And there's Chuck, 1984, 1987, and then was with the Arizona Cardinals. Ryan Keeley goes downfield and completes the pass for a first down to Kenny Mitchell.
Cecil, a pretty good golfer, too. Happened to be with him once or twice out on the fairways. And you don't want to get Chuck, out there when the putt counts. He'll make them.
Well, here's Ryan Keeley throwing for 132 yards. He has the 1 touchdown, and that was to his wide receiver, Craig Spann. But he's a real cool quarterback. And his leadership skills were really tested before the Stanford game when he did not start. They started Chad Elliott. Elliott was asked to lead the team just this past week. Well, Keeley came out, saved the day in the Stanford game with a marvelous comeback and was throwing brilliantly until he hurt his knee and did not play against Oregon. Here's J.R. Redmond. Not much there. Let's go down to Paul Sunderland.
We were talking about Ryan Keeley, Steve, and his really miraculous recovery from arthroscopic surgery just on November 9th. And I was speaking with the medical staff at Arizona State. And here's how the story goes. He had surgery on Monday the 9th following the injury of the Cal game. On Tuesday, he was on crutches. On Wednesday, he was jogging and riding an exercise bike. That's how tough this kid is. And then just continued to progress day after day after day until he proved to Bruce Snyder and the rest of the Arizona State coaches that he was ready to go, and out there without a brace, and he looks smooth so far. Back to you guys.
He will have to be the guy next year, but they need him healthy. The flag is down as Arizona State runs J.R. Redmond. I mean, does Bruce Snyder have to be just as patient against that Arizona flex defense?
Well, I think you almost have to be a little more patient than normal, just because Arizona's going to come through and make some plays. They're going to rush the edge. They're going to beat you to some gaps. And really, again, it's a gap-control defense and really using the speed of the defenders.
Holding by the offense, 10 yards, spot of the foul, repeat second down.
Rich Ellerson, the defensive coordinator for the U of A, he always says the great equalizer is pressure, and pressure hurts. So he's just going to keep bringing his guys time and time again and just force Arizona State into some mistakes. And take a look at their big play defense. 49 tackles for loss in the last 4 games.
And when it's 2nd and 18, it is a good time to gamble. Someone came across. Ray Rugemer is their big center, a super player from Las Vegas. This is final year, a Lombardi candidate.
Illegal snap by the offense. 5-yard penalty.
That is the 7th penalty against Arizona State in this football game. Bruce Snyder saying, we're playing well. We're just killing ourselves, though.
They are playing well, and I think, conversely, what Arizona State has done, they've tapered back their offense some. They want to just run the plays that they know are going to work against this defense, once again electing to spread out that Arizona defense.
Arizona does blitz from the corners. They throw it over the middle. It is incomplete, intended for Craig Spann, who is being covered by linebacker Marcus Bell. And now it's Randy Leapart getting into it with Joe Tafoya. Tuesdays at 8 o'clock on Fox Sports Net. Ronnie Lott, Bill Moss, and Ron Pitts bring you Turf Talk from the toughest guys in the NFL. Hardcore X's and O's, hardcore blood, sweat, and tears, hardcore football for the serious fan. Hardcore Football Tuesday at 8 on Fox Sports Net. Check your local listing. Here in Tucson, another flag, this time going against the Wildcats.
And talk about hardcore football. We got our own version right here. They actually flagged number 31, Deshaun Polk, who got into it with Victor Leyva, the big offensive guard of Arizona State. And really, you know, Dick Tomey knows it's going to be a heated battle. He doesn't want his guys to react to what's happening out there. And he told me all week, he goes, hey, we're going to be baited sometimes. And Bruce Snyder the same way. You don't want to retaliate because that's what always draws the flag.
3rd and 9. Big play here to keep the football out of Arizona's offensive hands, and Keeley's going downfield for Kenny Mitchell. He can't hold on, and a flag goes down. Well, the officials are working harder than anybody.
Pass interference by the defense. The defender was not playing the ball. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Now you see right at the end, Rafael Jones was locked up with Kenny Mitchell, the big wideout, 6'4", 202 senior. I like the fact Arizona State's coming to Mitchell with the ball. Mitchell's had a couple big games of recent. He had the only 100-yard receiving game a couple weeks ago versus Cal. 4 catches, 169 yards. One of those going for 79 yards and a TD.
Now from the 39, first down, Keeley will drop back again. He's going for the home run. And he's got his man inside the 5-yard line, Kenny Mitchell.
Well, you know what's interesting? When you got something you like on one side and you run it, why not just flip the formation and run it on the other side? Because they get the same look. Again, Kenny Mitchell locked on. Rafael Jones, the free safety. Watch as Mitchell goes up, almost makes a one-handed grab left-handed. But, boy, I tell you, his stock has risen the last couple weeks. He was quiet in the beginning of the year, but he has come on strong the last couple games for the Sun Devils.
4 catches now for 88 yards. Arizona State for the lead in the first half. And they hammer it to J.R. Redmond for the touchdown. We've got another great game on Fox Sports Net.
It's almost a guarantee. Right here, there's going to be some great blocks in the interior there. They just spring enough of a gap for J.R. Redmond to slip through. He doesn't need much. He scoots through for the score.
Last week, it was 2 overtimes. Oregon State. The week before that, UCLA winning on a 61-yard pass with 20 seconds to go. And now Arizona State, a 10-point underdog, has a 3-point lead at 22-19 over the Arizona Wildcats. We talked with Bruce Snyder about this great rivalry with Arizona and Arizona State, and about other things than winning the game.
The residual positives would be terrific for us. We'd be bowl eligible. We'd have a winning season, bragging rights, recruiting, get the sour taste out of our mouth from the previous 5 games that we've lost. So a lot is on it for both sides, but it's a great contest just by being itself, regardless of the other side.
Bruce Snyder knows that they had national championship hopes at the beginning of the year, but he said, you know, we lost 8 seniors who started on defense last year, and then to open the season, so much was put in that first game, and they lose on almost the last play of the game, a 4th and 17. Brock Huard completes a 63-yard pass to Reggie Davis for the touchdown, and Bruce really feels that was the play that turned the game around. The next game, they came out flat against Brigham Young and were beaten soundly.
And they were still talking about that play today during the pregame warm-ups. You bet it has an after effect.
Well, Arizona will start their offense from their own 20-yard line with 1:45 to play in this first half. And the Sun Devils with a surprising 3-point lead at 22-19.
And remember, Arizona's been able to move the ball pretty much at will. They have one timeout remaining along with Arizona State. Ortiz Jenkins is capable of putting together a couple big plays, and we've seen him, of course, pass the ball already successfully and run the ball as well.
So from the 20, Ortiz Jenkins remains the quarterback. Trun Kennedy skips by one would-be tackler and now flies through to the 35-40-yard line. Kennedy is gone!
Boy, Trun Kennedy, you see the explosiveness of their offense. That didn't take long.
He now has 12 plays over 30 yards this year, and as all the Arizona State defensive coaches said, you've got to watch this kid. You've got to watch for big plays, and he hits another home run, an 80-yard run. Canada now 8 carries for 139 yards in this game. Arizona's got the lead.
Yeah, 8 carries, 139. Watch as he just cuts it back right here against the grain. And boy, I tell you, I don't even think he didn't even need to pick up a block by Northcutt or Mike Luckey. He just used his flat-out speed to get into the end zone and race 80. Great low-angle view right here. Trun Kennedy, watch. I mean, he was going north all the way, running what we call downhill, and he hit the pole full speed, never let up.
You know, it's the great story that Dick Tomey talks about. We tried him at wide receiver. We tried him at defensive back. And his mom, Ruth, kept on calling and saying, give him another chance at running back. We did, and now he's one of the conference's very best. 26-22.
Trun Kennedy just standing on the gas. Taking it up and over for the lead in the Pac-10 rushing derby. Of course, nobody else will get a chance to catch it now.
Except Chad Morton tomorrow against Notre Dame. He needs to have a huge game the way Canada has started in only the first half. Justin Taplin out to the 17-yard line. Still 1:31 remaining in this first half. Let's go down to Paul Sunderland.
Steve, right before the Arizona offensive line took the field once again, their coach by position, Charlie Dickey, walked over and looked them all right in the face and said, look, this is a rival game. They're going to come back at us. They're tough guys. Who are my tough guys? And he really challenged them to go out there and block effectively up front. I would say message delivered, message received on that long touchdown run. Back to you guys.
Well, those offensive linemen, led by that one guy who was just screaming, Edwin Mulitalo, opened up some big holes, and Canada was not even touched. Keeley back to the air, and has Lindsey Jackson for about an 8-yard gain. Keeley wants his offense to get to that line quickly. The clock continues to move. Only a first down will stop it, with ASU still one timeout remaining. Ryan has the first down, and Craig Spann does it nicely to get out of bounds, but a flag is down at the 25-yard line.
Illegal shift by the offense. All the players are not set at the same time.
Bruce Snyder calls out the play as it will be now second down. 8 yards to go. Clock stopped at 1:07. Arizona does not have their strong safety in the game. Greg Payne out at the moment with a concussion. His return is unknown at this time. Keeley flips it to the sideline. J.R. Redmond cut down, but he will get the first down. And that will stop the clock it should stop the clock at 56 seconds. It does finally at 54 because he got the timeout, or he got the first down immediately.
Right, exactly. When they get a timeout, the clock will stop in order to set the chains, and then it will start again. But what you want to do as an offense, be on that line of scrimmage and get your plays called, so when the clock starts again, you could just have a play and get running it right away. There's discussion amongst the referees.
Reset the game clock to 57 seconds. 57 seconds. I'd like the lights turned out in the end zone. Thank you.
And that was our guys. That's Kevin and Kellen. They turned on the lights way too early, guys. Come on, help us out. 26-22, Wildcats lead. We'll almost be getting it to Kevin and Kellen. Here's Keeley. He will be twisting around, and down he goes to the 20-yard line. Deshaun Polk blitzing from his outside linebacking spot.
Deshaun Polk, once again, the leader of that aggressive defense. They're twisting and stunning up front. Deshaun Polk comes free. He beats Scott Peters, the offensive guard, number 53. And he, of course, on the year with an amazing 12 tackles for loss as well.
See, the lights are off right now, but
yeah, they got those lights. Turn them off, guys. Turn them off down there.
You know, but the referee could have gone over and asked them nicely and quietly. Instead, it's just like class. When you're chewing gum, do you have some for everyone?
Actually, it wasn't our guys. It was the guy over here. Okay, guys, I'm standing up for you.
Look, Kevin's blaming it on Kellen. Like Kellen has the plug. Well, just 40 seconds remain. Arizona State hanging in there, down by 4 after Trung Canady went for 80 yards and a touchdown. His 7th career rush of 50 or more yards. Second and 17. 4 wide receivers, 2 to either side. Redmond wasn't ready. Deshaun Polk was.
Boy, once again, we saw it earlier tonight. Deshaun Polk going everywhere, stride for stride with number 21, J.R. Redmond. He has the speed to stay with him, too, and he also has the aggressiveness to just knock him flat.
All 3 linebackers are coming back next year. Polk's a junior, Sprott's a junior, Bell's a junior. All but 1 defensive lineman. 3 of the 4 secondary players are coming back next year. This is a young Arizona defense. Here's Keeley handing it off. J.R. Redmond past the 30. Not enough for a first down. And the clock winds down inside 27 seconds. Joe Tafoya on the tackle.
Well, right there you see the after effects, the lingering effects of J.R. Redmond's ankle injury. He was in the open field and tried to cut, and really just kind of, it looked like his ankle kind of gave out, kind of gave way. He wasn't able to make the kind of cut he's accustomed to making.
And that has been part of the problem of Arizona State's offense this year. So many injuries and the inconsistencies. I mean, they've had times where they scored 55 points against Cal, 44 against Stanford, 42 against Washington. But then there have been other times like only 6 points against Brigham Young, 9 against Notre Dame. Certainly good programs. But Arizona State has a lot of weapons, just most of them have been injured.
Yeah, and some of those losses they suffered were against quality teams. I mean, Notre Dame's had a great year. They play Southern Cal tomorrow, and you know what's interesting, you know, they got a tough defense as well to run against Washington. What threw kind of more or less the unexpected at them in that opening game. Arizona State didn't know what to expect. Washington comes out with 4 wideouts. Brock Hewer throws it up and down the field all day long, and they come away with a victory.
Then they take an 11-point lead against USC into the 4th quarter. Can't hold on. Weird things happen.
Yeah, that game hurt him because I tell you what ended up happening in that game. J.R. Redmond sets an ASU record 350 all-purpose yards. He rushes for 214, and they lose the game.
Unbelievable game, but it has been that kind of year for ASU. Meantime, Northcutt stands near his 20-yard line, awaiting the punt from Baker. Northcutt will let it go, and it bounces inside the 15 and to about the 11, but with just 15 seconds remaining, I'm sure Ryan Keeley or Ortiz Jenkins, excuse me, will go to one knee and head to the locker room. 58 yards and a great punt by Steve Baker. Baker needed to average, I think, like 50 yards per punt to win the Pac-10 title. The great Oregon punter, Josh Bidwell. Bruce Wiggins. Let's see if he goes to one knee. He does, and yes. Wildcats will head to the locker room with the lead on the 80-yard run by Dick Tomey's big back Trung Canada, who on the run went over 1,000 yards in the air. Bruce Snyder, he heads to the locker room, still down only by 4 against the number 7 team in the nation, the Arizona Wildcats.
I'm Jim Rome. Tonight on The Last Word, two of the biggest golfers on the PGA Tour, Greg Norman and David Duval, midnight tonight on Fox Sports Net. See you then.
The number 7 rated Arizona Wildcats need the win to keep the Rose Bowl hopes alive. The Sun Devils need the victory to go bowling in 1998. And as we look at the first half stats, total offense has been dominated by the Wildcats. As they have 352 yards in total offense. Arizona will kick off in the second half. Lindsey Jackson is back deep. And also Justin Taplin, number 4. Will kick away from Lindsey. It is Taplin at the goal line. And Justin is out to the 20, and he is down there, fumbles the football. But I believe the Sun Devils got it back. Let's go down to Paul Sunderland.
Well, Steve, had a chance to talk to Arizona State coach Bruce Snyder, and obviously very disappointed that he was not able to go into the halftime with a lead, and pointed out a couple of key things. Must take away the big play. Trung Canadate's 80-yard run was obviously on his mind, so they want to try to cut that down, be a little more conservative defensively. And also asked him about J.R. Redmond's stat. He says, look, he's running like he's hurt, so we're going to be very, very careful with J.R. in this second half. Back to you guys.
Arizona averaged 8.5 yards per play in the first half. They had 5 plays over 25 yards. But J.R. Redmond says he's all right, apparently, because they start the second half. And here he goes, wide to the left, cutting to the 25-yard line. A gain of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5. Well, the toughness of a kid from Carson, California, really coming through with J.R. Redmond. And there are the stats, 352 to 200.
And right there, rushing yards, Arizona State with only 15 compared to 172 for Arizona. Total yards, Arizona right now with a big advantage. I think with the return of J.R. Redmond to this offense, too, as long as he's healthy, you got to get the ball in his hands. He came into the game tonight averaging 7.8 yards every time he touches the ball, whether reception, return, or rushing the football.
He only averaged 2.5 yards per carry in the first half. And did Todd Heap line up and jump off sides? That would be penalty number 9 against the Sun Devils. Well, you're asking a true freshman to step up in a rivalry. They'll make mistakes. And I think the difference in the two teams is really their seniors.
Yeah, I think so. And really, it might be the lack of seniors for Arizona State. They just don't have that leadership that they had a year ago, quite frankly, where they got in, had a very successful year, and a lot of them went on to are having nice careers up in the NFL.
Keeley wings it downfield. If there's one guy that can get them that victory, it's Ryan Keeley on 2nd down and long. He gets 17 for the first down. He is a special quarterback.
Well, he's done a nice job. He's come back. He had an arthroscopic surgery on his right knee just a few weeks ago on November 9th, and really what he's done tonight has shown a lot of resiliency and a lot of patience in the pocket. He's put up some good numbers as well, 13 of 21 for 202. They're going to have to continue to ride the strength of his arm tonight.
Keeley flips it up to the right side, and it is off the hands of Todd Heap. He would have had the first down, but could not hold on. So it's 2nd down and 10 yards to go. But Keeley in the last 4 games has thrown 8 touchdowns, no interceptions. And remember, it was about that time in the Stanford game where they sat him down, and they really felt he had been in a tailspin, and his confidence was shattered. But when he came out, he rallied his team well.
Well, and yeah, he takes a lot of responsibility, which a lot of young people, I mean, he does a great job. Look at the numbers just on the last 4 games alone. Tremendous numbers. And he might have hit a little low during the season, but he has come back admirably.
Only 3 yards for J.R. Redmond now, an important 3rd down. And how important do you think it is that Arizona State starts strong on this first possession?
Well, I think it's very important for them to put some kind of a drive together, but they're going to be challenged by Rich Ellerson, the defensive coordinator of Arizona. What he's doing right now, Steve, is he has game planned, and even though Arizona State is keeping a more simplified offense, Rich Ellerson, he knows one way to bring it. He's going to bring some heat on third down.
Bottom of your screen, great matchup as McAllister picks up Lindsey Jackson. Keeley does not go that way. Instead, he goes underneath, and it is incomplete. Kenny Mitchell had it right in his hands, couldn't hold on, would have had the first down. It's time to punt for the Sun Devils. Well, Keeley's doing his job. He cannot be blamed. And now it's the Sun Devils' defensive turn. Dennis Northcutt stands at his 15-yard line. It's blocked. Arizona blocks it. And the Wildcats covered at the 25-yard line. Brandon Nash racing over to cover it, but it may have been the All-American Chris McAllister who got there to block that punt. It's the third time Stephen Baker's had one blocked.
Sure enough, Arizona's blocked 5 kicks on the year. This is the 6th. Chris McAllister comes through. He's able to block the punt. You see McAllister, he got all the ball, really. All of a sudden, it goes to the left, and Baker's having a tremendous year getting the ball off. Really not his fault. McAllister just freed up, shooting the gap. 6 block kicks this year.
So Jenkins will start in the first half. He looks long. No one's open. He throws underneath for Northcutt, and it is incomplete at the 20-yard line. But you remember that USC game? What turned the game around? And the Arizona State Sun Devils had an 11-point lead in the fourth quarter.
Didn't take much. It's a block kick that ends up turning that game around, and Bruce Snyder knows all too well. I think Kellen Winslow said it best. I mean, you know, emotion plays such a big part of this, especially in the second half, because the teams came out of the halftime relatively close, only a 4-point spread. But when a play of this magnitude happens, it's a huge momentum shift. Arizona right now on the short field.
Jenkins has 5 seconds left in the 25-second clock. And he just barely got it off the time. Now he'll run the football. Jenkins to the 20. O.J. to the 15. And Kareem Clark holds him down out of bounds. They almost had a delay of game. I mean, that clock went right down to 0 when the snap was made by Bruce Wiggins.
And I tell you what, the play continues as they go into pounds. Just a great play once again, almost kind of a QB counter, if you will, counter draw action. Then Ortiz Jenkins just brings it on Kareem Clark. Then he falls on top of him as well. Take a look at the 2 square QBs of U of A.
You know, it's interesting. They say Smith's the better runner. Jenkins is the better passer. Go figure.
Well, you got to remember now, Keith Smith with 0 rush yards. Remember, he had an over 70-yard run called back in the first half.
Yep. Jenkins to the air. End zone. Almost caught by Jeremy McDaniel.
Ball's on target. Just a drop ball that time by McDaniel.
Northcutt dropped one in the end zone. Now Jeremy McDaniel.
McDaniel 1 catch in the first half for 51 yards. And see, just a fade route. Sure enough, the ball right in his hands. Just doesn't come down with it. All you need is 1 foot in on the catch. He doesn't put the ball down. Therefore, incomplete.
McDaniel and Northcutt both will go to the top of your screen. Tight end right is Mike Lucky. Candidate. Now this is Kelvin Ephon, and Ephon only gets a yard to the 13-yard line. Paul Sunderland.
Well, Steve, tough enough for Arizona State to try to hold the momentum here at the beginning of the half after that blocked punt, little goal line stand. But Mitchell Friedman, their strong safety, getting treatment on the sidelines for cramps in his left leg. They're icing down both legs. He's got a case of cramps right now and unavailable in this very important stand to start the second half. Back to you guys.
It is one Sun Devil after another. They have lost 4 players already who are in the locker room suffering injuries in this game. And now Fright Night Friedman comes out of the game. Well, with the clock down to 2 seconds and the offensive backfield moving around, Ortiz Jenkins says we'll take the first time out of the second half. We'll be right back.
There's one place where 99 is already in full swing. At your Buick dealer, it's Buick Swing Into 99. And November 27th through the 30th, the numbers are swinging even lower. Way down with 0.99% APR financing on every 99 Buick. Save an average of $2,800. Hurry, 4 days only, so don't miss a beat. Swing into your Buick dealer today.
GTE caller ID, you'll know exactly who's on the line.
Nope, not the kids.
So you can decide whether to pick up or not.
Mom? Dad? Home early. Hello? Is anybody here? Hello?
Room 1203 wants to swim without floaties. Marriott, when you're comfortable, you can do anything.
Arizona with a 4-point lead. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the University of Arizona and the Pac-10 Conference that is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience and may not be rebroadcast in any form without the express written consent of the University of Arizona and the Pac-10 Conference. Arizona with a 3rd and 10. 2 wide receivers left, 1 to the right side. Arizona State shows blitz, and Jenkins reads it, and he will score the touchdown.
Boy, it's almost as if Arizona took a peek at the Arizona State defensive game plan, because every time they've been in a blitz, they've burned it.
You were talking about Homer Smith, the old offensive coordinator, and he said about Ortiz, there's a lot he needs to work on, but most importantly, we just need to let him be. He's good.
This season, Pac-10 action is growing.
It is my pleasure to salute a group of companies.
Sports South.
Ortiz Jenkins just scored his 2nd rushing touchdown of the year.
Well, he just takes it, really just a design quarterback draw, but once again they catch Arizona State in a blitz. Jenkins tonight, 6 rushes, 62 yards, and a score.
So now Arizona with their biggest lead of the game, 33-22. Trying to go 11-1 in the season. Head to the Rose Bowl. The kickoff is deep. Driving Craig Spann out of the end zone. Arizona State, really important possession here after Jenkins got this.
What's interesting, watch as Arizona State will end up max blitzing. They'll come up, but right here, they'll get a nice seal, and Ortiz Jenkins will just run all the way into the end zone, but they once again, they catch him in a max blitz. Tell you what, that's Arizona doing their homework right there and drawing up a good play.
On 3rd and 10, that takes some guts. 6 carries, 62 yards, and the touchdown, his 2nd this year. The first won the game against Washington. It really has been such a big part of this successful season for Arizona. Wildcats have outscored Arizona State 26-7 since they were behind to start the game 15-7.
Good ball, full start, 1st and 15.
10 penalties now against the Sun Devils. Snyder says every time we take a step forward, we're taking 2 back. We're putting Keeley in a lot of trouble. Four wides, a blitz shown. Keeley reads it, sends it out to Spann. Craig gets it to the 22-yard line, about 5 plus 3 more after he got back to the line of scrimmage. Marcus Bell made the tackle.
Well, as long as Arizona is going to continue to blitz the interior, Arizona State has no choice but to throw it out to their wideouts. And again, Keeley out to Craig Spann.
The defensive guys for Arizona State need to keep their intensity up. Kellen Winslow talked about emotion being a huge factor in the second half. And on second down, they get nothing running. They had 16 carries for 15 yards in the first half. And that running game being stuffed by that junior, that superstar from St. John's, Arizona, Marcus Bell.
Boy, Marcus Bell lines up deep in this defensive scheme, and he lines up there so he can run by everybody and just knife in and make tackles just like that. And Devarin Hightower is the leading tackler in the Pac-10 over Jonathan Jackson at Oregon State and Tim Smith at Stanford. 10.7. I mean, he's had a couple, been Pac-10 Defensive Player of the Week 2 weeks as well over the course of the season.
3rd and 8. Todd Heap is there for the first down. This is an important drive. They've got to come up with some kind of points.
Well, they really do. And this is one of the ways John Pettis, who's calling plays for Arizona State, felt he could get a mismatch. And really, Todd Heap against Scooter Sprott, they feel it's a pretty good mismatch. Todd Heap can go up and get it. Marcus Bell, of course, comes over for another tackle, but they're a nice throw and catch. And I agree with you, Steve. They have to put a drive together, go to the length of the field, not only gain confidence, but put points on the board.
Healy takes right, goes downfield, and there's the catch to Craig Spann for another first down to the 22-yard line. 32 on the last, 25 on this, and now Keeley's coming up with big plays.
Boy, Ryan Keeley is just more or less a six-shooter back there. He pump fakes, and he sees his man, Spann. He has a couple steps on Kelvin Hunter. Ball hangs just a little bit, but he's able to get it far enough down the field where Kelvin Hunter was in the chase position, and Spann comes down with a catch.
Spann with one of his greatest games ever. 5 catches, 71 yards, and a long touchdown. Arizona State showing run. No play action pass. Keeley downfield. It is caught for the touchdown. The true freshman from Mesa Mountain View, Todd Heap. The kid they feel is going to be an All-American tight end.
Well, so far, so good. You know, when you come into a game like this, quarterbacks and receivers always say, hey, you know, we're going to get a lot of man coverage. Great. Let's throw it up the field, throw it in the air. Ryan Keeley with another great throw. He knows right away, though, hey, let's go for 2 on the point after. But Todd Heap throws it in on a career game for himself. Already 3 catches, 66 yards, his best thus far as a Sun Devil. 4 catches, 99 yards a couple weeks ago versus Oregon.
Keeley spreads him out again. Van goes in motion. No tight end. Ryan throws. It is broken up in the end zone. Mitchell could not hold on. So it remains a 5-point Arizona State disadvantage. But Keeley getting it done on a beautifully executed drive here in Tucson, Arizona.
The only thing as exciting as the new action drama Enemy of the State.
Why are they after me? You have something they want!
Is the communications technology it features.
On 21. This about me. They know me. 19, 18.
Enemy of the State, only in theaters.
What the hell is happening? I blew up the building. Why? Because you made a phone call.
Experience the excitement.
Ryan Keeley talking with his offensive coordinator, Dan Cazzetto, with Arizona, leading 33-28 over the Sun Devils. Keeley, every time he has been down, he's brought his team back. An 82-yard drive due to a penalty, but my goodness, twice in that exchange he converted 3rd down plays. Now the kickoff. McAllister still on his feet. There is a flag pushes his way out to the 32-yard line. There's Chris McAllister, the senior. Earlier this week, he became one of the 3 finalists for the Thorpe Award, going to the nation's very best defensive back. Champ Bailey of Georgia, Antoine Winfield of Ohio State, the other finalists. McAllister, just a great play, and the senior. He was there. Remember when he suspended for the Washington game, and Dick Tomey took his hat off and he said, there to greet us at 3 o'clock in the morning was Chris McAllister.
By the return team, 10-yard penalty, first down.
I really believe Chris McAllister could be the Pac-10 Defensive Player of the Year. He has played well every week he's played, and of course he had to sit out that one game. But I asked Rich Ellerson, I said, you know, it seems to me, I mean, I'm seeing a lot of Chris McAllister. A lot of teams won't even go his way. It's like the Deion Sanders phenomenon with the Cowboys. They don't even throw to that side of the field. And Rich said, you know, Rams, he's that good, and he's getting better.
What do you tell Chris Claiborne? I don't know if you breakfast with Brendan Iabajajo. And there's a flip to the left sideline, and it is incomplete. Jeremy McDaniel goes down hard.
I tell all those guys, they played great too. Keep playing good. Because I probably would say, hey, you know, those guys are probably should be considered for Defensive Player of the Year. Along with everyone else. Take a look once again. Jeremy McDaniel trying to get up the field on Juwan Cherry. Just out of his grasp again. Just a short little fade route, little go route. Right up the sideline. Looks like he might have hurt himself when he came down.
Brendan Nash, number 19, comes in for McDaniel. 2nd and 10. Kennedy trying to break free. Boy, he is nifty in there. Look at him. He's got over 140 yards rushing in this game.
Yeah, he was number 1 in the conference coming in tonight in average per run at 6.3. Tonight, 14.6. He's had a couple huge runs. Of course, the 80-yarder right before halftime.
Well, it looked like he was going to gain nothing. He winds up gaining 7 yards in a play. And Shields is down the field. Paul Shields, the backup fullback to Kelvin Ephon. He's the senior from Mesa, Arizona, and one of the guys that Dick Tomey was talking about, all of the seniors having career years, and that includes Paul Shields, the senior from Mesa, Scottsdale Community College. There is Dick Tomey, what a year he has had. And earlier this year, he was talking about the success of the program, and he said teams are about a guy named Joe, an ordinary Joe who works hard, can contribute to a victory. And Dick said, that coming Monday, I received like 200 T-shirts that were inscribed, it's all about a team of Joes. And he feels that's what Arizona's about, regular guys who just know how to win.
Boy, and I tell you, since last year, they were 5-5 coming into that game with Arizona State. In the last 15 games, 14-1 over that span.
And they upset the Sun Devils last year. Well, all right, guys, anyone up for today's hungriest up-and-coming fighters laying it on the line? There's nothing like a night of great fights, and we have another terrific card on Fight Time on Fox. Check it out next Thursday night. Check local listings. It's 3rd down. 3 yards to go for Arizona. Jenkins remains the quarterback in the shotgun. Ortiz going to run. Not this time. Eric Fields was there, the linebacker. Ryan Riley, a defensive tackle.
I tell you, the play you run off of that, you've run that play enough now. Now you play action off that play. I'm sure next time when Arizona has a 3rd down, Dino Babers will say, you know, we kind of went to the well maybe one too many times. We'll come back and try the boot.
Springston to Justin Taplin. No, they're going to put J.R. Redmond back there. And J.R. is drilled, and I do not believe they gave him the necessary 2 yards to catch the football.
You know, one of the things Dick Tomey did tonight, I asked him if he had any wrinkles, and he said, you know, we're going to put Chris McAllister as a gunner on punt team. We need to have a good tackler out there when J.R. Redmond is returning kicks. But you know what? Sure enough, McAllister sees Redmond, and he wants to drill him.
J.R. held on to it. 2-yard restraining belt by the receiver. 5-yard penalty against the kicking team.
You know, if you're a coach, you say, you know what, it's a 5-yard penalty, but it does send a message. It's about attitude. McAllister saw that Redmond was going to return the kick. You got to give him 2-3 yard cushion to catch the ball. McAllister did not do that. That's the reason he was flagged. But I tell you, that's a big hit and a big play on special teams.
You know, I asked Coach Tomey if he was the best cornerback he's ever had, and he said, well, Darrell Lewis provided so much in his 3 years, but Chris is right there with him. Lewis, Pac-10 defensive back of the year, and they're going with Keeley looking deep. Intended for J.R. Redmond, but broken up and almost picked off by Scooter Sprott. Well, they pulled another cookie out of the cookie jar.
Boy, you know who's down the field? Marcus Bell is down the field. Watch him run. All of a sudden, he's in the chase position, and he's the one that almost picks the ball off. Scooter Sprott, of course, is in the chase position. They're trying to get the ball again to number 21, J.R. Redmond.
2nd and 10. Sprott showing no, he'll not blitz. Intercepted. Greg Payne. The second turnover for Arizona State.
Greg Payne. You see number 24 in coverage. Keeley just with bad throw right there, trying to get the ball to Lindsey Jackson, and Greg Payne, who's playing so well, right in the middle of your screen right there. He's able to come down with the interception. Nice play. They don't run a lot of zone defense. That time Payne, really more or less the robber in that defense, comes up with a theft of his own, stealing one away from Ryan Keeley.
So it's back to Ortiz Jenkins, who stays in as the quarterback. Keith Smith has not played in the second half. OJ's going deep. There's Dennis Northcutt. Oh, he made the catch! There is a flag down, but it may be against the defense. 42 yards in the play. Jenkins to Northcutt.
Boy, the thing about Arizona, they are definitely not one-dimensional.
For the same foul. Pass interference by the defense. Penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
Northcutt slows down and draws the penalties in the flag. Watch how he slows his speed right here, as only great receivers do. And Northcutt still able to come down with a great catch, landing on the 1-foot line. Ortiz Jenkins a little happy.
Now from the 1-yard line, they bring in Kelvin Efon. Will this be touchdown number 17? Not yet. Jenkins driving his way, but is straightened up at the 1-yard line. There is a flag down. I'm not sure if Arizona State was offsides. Mitchell Friedman back in the game after suffering cramps to his calves.
Boy, Mitchell Friedman, watch him come off the edge. He knows Ortiz Jenkins is coming, and he's able to lower his shoulder. Of course, it helps when Adam Archuleta, number 40, has his arms around Ortiz Jenkins' legs. They seem to have been the most dangerous element of Jenkins tonight.
It is against the offense.
Illegal formation. There are only 6 players on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down.
Now from just outside the 5-yard line. Jenkins will go on 1st and goal.
They're the guy right now. Well, Arizona State coaches, they're I tell you what, a little concerned right now. Although Arizona keeps kind of misfiring inside the 10-yard line.
Ifan gets to the 5, that's all. Wrapped up nicely on a defensive stick by the veteran Aubrey Battle. It moved from tackle to end, and this is his final year, and he's hoping this is not his final game.
Boy, he's hoping, and right now it's such an important down right here. Arizona State played well. Goal line defense in the first half. Of course, they had one big penalty that converted to a first down for Arizona, but right now Mitchell Friedman or Archuleta has to come up with a big play.
They'll run it again, and pounding his way to the 1-yard line is Kelvin Ifan. No, it's Trunk Candidate to the 1-yard line.
Friedman right now playing inspired defense from his free safety position. Sure enough, he comes up. Mulatalo coming around, gets his helmet on Willie Daniel, but Mitchell Friedman comes up and just rocks Trunk Candidate.
There's Friedman from the Phoenix area. Bruce Snyder takes a timeout with a 3rd and goal at the 1-yard line with his team down by just 5 points. But Arizona just 1 yard away, and Trunk Candidate apparently talked with the officials about the way he is getting hit at that 1-yard line. We've had the duel in the desert, and we have not been disappointed with a great contest between the Sun Devils and the Wildcats. And there is a great college hoops doubleheader coming your way. We have UNLV taking on Arizona State and Bobby Laser. And super sophomore Lamar Odoms leads Rhode Island against Cal and the Golden Bears. Check it out next Saturday only on Fox Sports Net. Let's go down to Kevin and Kellen.
Thanks a lot, guys. And Kellen, it would seem that Arizona getting a spark from Ortiz Jenkins, 50 yards passing, 50 yards rushing.
Yeah, you know, we know about the two-headed quarterbacks, but Ortiz is playing outstanding, coming in and leading this team down the field and being very aggressive in his choices.
All right, let's get it back upstairs.
Well, let's see what they asked Jenkins to do here. They have had him optioned on occasions. They have also had him gone on a quarterback draw. They have Ifan, who has 16 touchdowns. They've got Canada, who's a great running back. So Tomey has a lot of options.
And Arizona's been aggressive in their offensive scheme all night. I still think you come back to with what brought you to the dance, and Kelvin Ifan has scored a ton of touchdowns. Hand him the football.
They've got Candidate in there. Ifan's on the sideline. It is Jenkins trying to get outside, and he is hammered down. Bright night. Friedman was there. So was Derek Ford, Paul Shields.
Yeah, see, what do I know? I'm up here saying, hey, hand Ifan the ball. Ifan's not in the game. Give Trunk Candidate the ball then. Give your running backs the football down towards the goal line. Right here, they just try to run option. Again, Mitchell Friedman with a great play. Steven Trejo as well, putting the wraps on Ortiz Jenkins.
So they'll go for the field goal and an 8-point lead. A 20-yard field goal attempt by Mark McDonald, who has made just 7 of 16 this year. And he will have an odd angle.
You know what? ASU calls timeout here, Steve, and I got to argue this. Why call timeout? Save your timeout. This is the second half of a crucial ball game. 5 minutes left in the third quarter. Don't call a timeout.
Well, we saw a marvelous comeback down the stretch with Texas almost out of timeouts. Major Applewhite did a beautiful job after Texas A&M had scored 16 straight points. Ryan Keeley's that kind of quarterback. I remember game 1 we saw against Washington. Keeley led his team 80 yards down the field for the go-ahead touchdown. But what was it, a minute left in the game? And then Brock Huard comes right back, and on a 4th and 17, he hits Reggie Davis for what was the most miserable play of the year for that man.
Boy,
well, this week it's Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. First, Jamal Anderson and the NFC West leading Falcons battle the Rams. Then the Eagles head to Lambeau to take on Brett Favre and the Packers, plus other regional action. Coverage begins at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific on Fox. Check your local listings. Well, here's the 20-yard field goal attempt by Mark McDonald.
And no easy angle here either.
Oh, he hit it dead solid, perfect. McDonald 20. Arizona has opened up an 8-point lead at 36-28. Let's go down to Kevin Frazier and Kevin Winslow.
Thanks a lot, guys. And Kellen, the play calling on that last series, Arizona first and goal, they can't punch it in.
No, they can't punch it in, Kevin. You know, we're sitting right down here looking at it. They're coming right into our end zone. When you've got an offensive line that is big as Arizona's is, you have got to get that ball into the hands of your big running back and just pound it in there until you get the ball in the end zone. You cannot always rely on your quarterback, on a quarterback draw to get the ball, on an option to get the ball into the end zone. You've got to use all your tools in those situations.
How large does it loom now that Arizona State went for 2 last time they scored instead of going for 1? Now they're down 8.
Yeah, we're still in the third quarter. They're only down 8 points, but that might come back to haunt them. That's a decision that coaches always make based on their timetable that they have laid out before the game starts.
All right, Kellen, thanks a lot. Let's get him back upstairs. Steve Physiak and Tom Ramsey. Guys?
And Kevin and Kellen, you're absolutely right. Arizona had a first and goal on the 1-foot line. They didn't try and hammer it in, and they come away with just 3. 4:58 remaining third quarter. To the 2-yard line. Fred Spann ridden down at the 15. Wonderful defensive stop by Barrett Baker. Well, there have been so many great games in this wonderful series that dates back to 1899. Let's go back to 1992, one of the series' most tightly contested games. Arizona led 6-0 on 2 Steve McLaughlin field goals. Went in the fourth quarter. Kevin Galbraith of Arizona State broke off a 51-yard run for a touchdown. And the Sun Devils won the game 7-6. Arizona won 20 of the first 22 from 1899 to 1948. Arizona State won 24 of the next 33, but since 82, it's been all Wildcats. 12 wins, 3 victories for the Sun Devils, and 1 tie. There's Marcus Bell. He will be all Pac-10 linebacker, along with Claiborne, and probably Brendan Iamalejo. And there is the game that Ryan Keeley has had to work with. He has 298 yards passing, so he's done his job, but they've only averaged 1 yard per rush.
And a big reason why Marcus Bell with 14 tackles thus far.
J.R. Redmond skipping through, driving for the first down. Remember that game against Washington? Bell had 21 tackles in the game. There were so many heroes in that Arizona victory.
And was it possible to have a quiet 21 tackles? Because we sat there at the end of the game in amazement saying 21 tackles.
Derek McDonald comes off the field holding his right arm to his side. They'll go 4 wide anyway. And they have so many injuries now at that position. Keeley in trouble. He will be swung around and sacked at the 19-yard line. That's Mike Robertson.
Watch again as he comes off the edge. Robertson and Tafoya, the rush ends, and Robertson playing aggressive coming off that end, beats his man and sacks Keeley for a big loss.
Arizona with their second sack. They led the Pac-10 last year with 47. They're nearing that total this year. Second in sacks in the conference now at 43. Keeley on second and 24. Did Mitchell hold on? Nope. It was Brian Forth, the receiver, the sophomore from Yorba Linda. He's a walk-on. So many injuries, and now they're playing the walk-ons. But today's Academic All-America Profile is brought to you by GTE. It's redshirt freshman Eli Winnick, a 3.75 grade point average. All-Academic first team, and I don't know how he can read his books with his hair in front of his eyes. He combs it back and slips that helmet on. Blitz on for Arizona. Picked up, Keeley going deep. McAllister intercepts at the 35.
there's teams that just won't go to his side regardless because they know number 11's over there. And Keeley looks as though he almost predetermined he wanted to get the ball out to Lindsey Jackson, and not a good throw because McAllister had 3 steps on Lindsey Jackson. He was way out in front of where the ball actually came down. Chris McAllister with another huge play this evening.
Ryan Keeley picked on the wrong man. Chris has his 16th career interception, and now Arizona tries to run. Boy, the defense all over him. There's McAllister, 16 picks in 33 career games. Remember, his dad, James McAllister, went to UCLA, and Chris almost went there.
Yeah, James, of course, was a great running back in the wishbone days with UCLA and Pepper Rogers and some great names, and of course an All-American there. And Chris wanted to come to UCLA, but I tell you, in games against UCLA, Chris McAllister has let his presence be known. He returned to kickoff a couple years ago, 104 yards for a score against UCLA.
Tron Kennedy, look out! He's going to do it again! 1 for 80, now 1 for 66.
Boy, Trunk Candidate shot out of a cannon. This time 66 yards. He has a huge hole, but I'll tell you what, you don't get through that hole without showing a great burst of speed right there tonight. 13 carries, 213 yards for Trunk Candidate.
And the Wildcats beginning to break it open, trying for their first 11-win season in the history of their school, and the first time they have ever had a Pac-10 rushing champion. It could be number 30, Trunk Candidate from Phoenix Central High School, just outside ASU.
Well, Trunk Candidate is such a dangerous runner because when he hits the hole, he hits it going 100 miles an hour. He just has the cutting ability. Great stride length right there, just more or less prances in the end zone. But he's not a real big guy, 5'11", 200 pounds, but he can hurt you with some big plays right there. Look at that, 52-yard average on 14 career TD runs.
It is 43-28. Arizona has their biggest lead of the game. And they're waving the flag down here in Tucson. This has always been a heated rivalry. And when you go back to the history of the cities, until 1920, Tucson was the biggest city in Arizona. Phoenix took over. And now the two schools are bitter rivals.
Well, I tell you what, I'm more or less apt to give Trunk Candidate the rushing crown for the Pac-10. I don't know if Chad Morton, he'd have to reel off about 250 against the Golden Domers. I just don't know if that could be done.
What a wonderful year this has been for the University of Arizona. Such a deserving football team after not much was expected of them this football season. But Candidate has been so strong, going 80 yards rushing and now for 66.
Right there, here's his 80-yarder as the first half ended, and then just a moment ago, when he hits a hole going 100 miles an hour, he's off to the races again for the 66-yard scamper. He just flat out outruns Mitchell Friedman.
I was just watching his speed as he hit the hole. He is so quick. By giving a wink to Mom Ruth, who's probably in the stands saying, Coach told me, I told you he's a running back.
Well, I tell you, the great runners, Ricky Williams with 250 yards today, surpassing Tony Dorsett as the D1 career rushing leader, and Trunk Candidate right there taking over sole possession of the Pac-10 rushing lead with 1,145.
He only needs 19 yards to break the all-time Arizona single-game rushing record. 232 yards by Jim Upchurch against the University of Texas El Paso in 1973.
Yeah, and Dino Babers, the offensive coordinator of Arizona, has done a masterful job tonight getting to the right plays, and I know Dick Tomey's happy with that. When they spread the ball around in that offense, they have the playmakers and the playmaking ability to make things happen. Two great wideouts, a couple great running backs, and of course, two great quarterbacks.
I think Dick Tomey was feeling it.
He's in the zone.
He's got that confident look. His team is playing with that kind of confidence as well. Now Arizona State must come back on his possession. Lindsey Jackson to about the 33-yard line. Let's go down to Paul Sunderland.
Well, Steve, how quickly the momentum can change once again. After Arizona State held University of Arizona to a field goal right down on the goal line, there were some very, very unhappy Wildcats when they came back over to the sidelines. Ortiz Jenkins was unhappy, but particularly the offensive line. And they went right back out, accepted the challenge. They met with their coaches and said, we got to do one thing. We get the ball back. We got to hold our blocks for just a count longer. And they mentioned Trung Candidate by name, and we'll break Trung. Well, they broke Trung. Back to you guys.
And Trung broke for 66. 43-28. Keeley needs a lot. He goes underneath with wide receiver Kenny Mitchell. About 9 yards. It'll be second down and short.
You know what? If you're Arizona State right now, you got to keep an eye on the clock. 1:10 left in the second half. Down by this much, there's going to come a time when you want to run a hurry-up offense. Doesn't have to be right now, but you have to keep an eye on the clock and not let too much time get away.
We saw Texas A&M score 16 straight points in 7 minutes in the fourth quarter. They were down with 8.5 minutes left in the game by 16 and came back and took the lead. Texas would win. Redmond, JR inside the 40-yard line. 26 yards in the play, and he will again get up limping.
Boy, J.R. Redmond just, tell you what, true guts right now. He almost looked as if he had saved himself a little bit, recharged the batteries, because he showed great quicks catching the corner right there, and then he's able to make a great cut, get up the field before, guess who? Marcus Bell pulls him down.
15 tackles now for Marcus Bell. Keeley in trouble, scrambling, now he'll run. And he runs for about 7 to the 30-yard line. You know, Ryan's got that slight build. He's listed at 6'2", 205, but if he's 200 pounds, well, that'd be hard to believe. But that is the end of the third quarter. Keeley has thrown for over 300 yards in this game. But it's Arizona with the lead by 15 over the Sun Devils.
This holiday season, make espresso and cappuccino right in the microwave in less than 2 minutes with the Black & Decker Espresso Meal. The perfect gift for that special someone on your holiday list. Authentic espresso, microwave fast.
Why did the frog cross the road? He didn't. One of the greatest video game heroes is back. Frogger CD-ROM. It's revised, rebuilt, and ready to hop like never before for PC and the PlayStation game console.
Hey, buddy. You okay?
No, kids are not a burden. Sometimes you might think maybe they are. I mean, every once in a while. But, yeah, it's just like this guidance. You know, you just guide them into appreciating just the good things in life and the things that'll give them true happiness. And someday you gotta let them go, and it's hard. It's hard to let them go.
Guide your car to true happiness. Chevron with Techron.
I'm a crier. I mean, just thinking about it makes me cry.
With GTE caller ID, you'll know exactly who's on the line.
Nope, not the kids.
So you can decide whether to pick up or not.
Mom? Dad? Home early. Hello? Is anybody here? Hello? Mom's calling Enterprise Rent-A-Car, so our car is sick.
Enterprise will arrange to pick you up,
Wow!
drive you to our place, and get you on your way.
Everybody loves to be picked up.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up. This holiday season, make espresso and cappuccino right in the microwave in less than 2 minutes with the Black & Decker Espresso Meal. The perfect gift for that special someone on your holiday list. Authentic espresso, microwave fast.
Oh, the sign says it all. Mom, send money fast. We're going to Pasadena. Wildcats trying to go to the Rose Bowl for the first time ever, but with Trung Candidate leading them, I think they could get there.
Does that mean the cost of living is more expensive out in California than it is here in Arizona?
You bet.
I believe so. Trunk Kennedy doing a great job thus far tonight and really enabling Arizona to keep their eyes set on Pasadena.
Well, Trunk Kennedy with 2 touchdowns, 1 of 80, another of 66.
Well, and Ryan Keeley once again surveying that Arizona defense. They've been knifingly sharp tonight.
Keeley backing up. Does he hold on to it? Yes, he does. What a catch by Todd Heap. "26 yards and a first down."
Boy, right here, Todd Heap on what appears to be a corner route comes down with a great catch. He actually gets 2 feet in bounds. All he needs is 1, but he drags both. Much to the chagrin of the Arizona defense, but Todd Heap, what a great catch that time. And another great throw, but they're pulling it back.
Remember the first game of the year, Todd Heap was at practice, and Bruce Snyder said to us, watch this kid number 80. He's going to be a great player before it's all over. He's only a true freshman. But now, Keeley's got to go back to work again. He's 12 down by 15. He was trying to go to Brian Forth, and Arizona really had a blitz into Keeley's face. So he tried to hit Forth on that fade down the left sideline. The Burger King game summary, Canada 213 yards, just 19 shy of an Arizona single-game record, and 2 big touchdown runs. Arizona State has not been able to run. Arizona has outscored ASU 36-13 since they were down 15-7 at the end of the first quarter. Now it's 3rd down, 17 yards to go. Arizona showing blitz. Keeley in trouble. He's sacked. Daniel Greer, the only senior on that defensive line.
Daniel Greer just does a great job of collapsing the pocket on Ryan Keeley. He's able to get a great push. They loop stunt inside. He just brings the camera on Ryan Keeley.
Arizona needs a little hope. They need a break, maybe a turnover. Down 15 points and punting it to a very strong running team in the University of Arizona. Baker hammers it. It'll hit at the 5-yard line. It is saved at the 2. Oh, what a great save by ASU. 48 yards to the punt, but it was Todd Heap again who knocked it and kept it from going into the end zone. Arizona State still has a chance, just down by 15. Plenty of time left.
Big Bob's Exterminating. Spiders? Oh, we do spiders. Scorpions? I love the challenge. Centipedes? Centipedes are our speciality. The queen centipede. Bring her on.
The Bugs are back. Centipede on CD-ROM. Take on 5 all-new worlds or play classic style. Get your hands on Centipede for PC CD-ROM.
Well, maybe we could talk about this.
With advanced technology and traditional reliability, you have to admit, it bridges the gap quite nicely. The 99 Accord from Honda.
Is it pain? Is it pleasure? Gatorade, is it in you?
The duel in the desert has been a really great ball game, 43-28. At one time, Arizona led by just 5, but they have had 2 scores since. And now, Arizona State needing a big play defensively. Arizona backed up at their own 1-yard line, and Eric Fields came through the linebacker, to make the tackle on just a yard gain by Arizona. The handoff to the fullback, Jim Wendler, scored a touchdown earlier tonight. And there's the outside linebacker, Eric Fields, just a redshirt freshman who they feel will be a great part of their future.
Well, you see what the Arizona rush offense has done tonight. 39 rushes, 6.8 average, 4 TDs. Of course, 2 of those long distance by Trunk Candidate, 66 and 80 yards.
Jenkins stays in the game. Smith got the start, but since Jenkins came on, they stayed with Ortiz and Efon leaning forward to the 6-yard line, but it'll be 3rd down and 5.
You know, and right here, you just want to give, really, you want to move it off your own goal line. In case you have to punt, you want to give your punter enough room to kick. Ryan Springston needs about, really 12 or 13 yards, so you have to push it out. But a lot of times, a defense will play so overly aggressive. A lot of times you see long runs broken off of their own team's goal line.
Well, Candidate last year had a run of 96 yards for a touchdown, and this one's 2 yards shorter. Jenkins spreads everybody out, though. In the shotgun, he wants to run himself, cuts to the outside, and Ortiz has the first down. Right through the field goal net. Somebody catch that man. You see that cactus? That cactus represents the trophy that goes to the winner.
Well, first, what he ends up doing, he runs right out of his shoe. Then he runs into the net. That's how you slow him down.
The big game trophy.
Again, they run the quarterback, really kind of a counter trap, and he just eludes a defender. Then he just blows a shoe right there, just runs right out of it. Goes crashing into this thing. What is going on over here anyhow? No one on the Arizona State sideline even attempted to help him.
Yeah, I saw you play too. You wouldn't have helped him either. Now Smith comes into the game after Ortiz slipped and fell in the netting. So Keith Smith back in the game, wants to throw and completes the pass at the 15-yard line. Dennis Northcutt very close to another first down. Very close to another first down. It's women's college basketball on Fox Sports Net. It's a hold throw, and the Lady Volunteers begin their quest for a 4th championship. But first, they have to face the aggressive Texas Longhorns. Tennessee takes on Texas tomorrow at 8. Check your local listings for game time. This is one of the great players ever to play in college basketball. Well, Ortiz Jenkins, they're taping his cleats on so they don't fall off. So Smith, this is how he gets to play. Trunk Candidate to the 35-yard line, a gain of 9, but that's not even close to his average.
No, he has just been so good tonight, hitting the hole at full speed.
He has 222 yards now rushing, and the Arizona record for one game set by Jim Upchurch back in 1973 when he ran for 232 yards against the University of Texas, El Paso.
And he doesn't even look tired.
What's he had, about 15 carries for 900 yards. Ortiz Jenkins back in the game, 2nd and 1. First down to Kelvin Efon. Navage is hammering it away using the clock brilliantly.
That's what I was going to say just a moment ago. They just keep the chains moving, and this is a sign of a good team. When you can control the clock, especially down the stretch in the 4th quarter. Arizona State, of course, needing at least 2 touchdowns, and then they could go for a 2-point conversion. Actually, 2 two-point conversions would actually give them the lead, but trust me, Arizona and Dick Tomey knows that. They want to continue to keep the pressure on and, quote, be one of the more exciting teams in the nation. Get that Rose Bowl berth.
Jenkins in the shotgun. Oh, they read that nicely. I think Aubrey Battle was a little tired of seeing Trunk Kennedy just run at will, so he sacked him for about a 4 or 5 yard loss.
Again, just pulling the whole right side of the line, and Aubrey Battle just knifing through. Someone's finally found a way to put a stop on Trunk Kennedy. That would be Aubrey Battle. 11.5 QB sacks, although he came in with only 2.5 sacks on the year tonight. They really miss him producing those quarterback sacks.
Jenkins almost gets sacked, then just throws it out there, and it is almost intercepted. Jamel Reddy had it in his arms but couldn't hold on, but that was as good as a punt. Clock stops at 10:25.
Well, and again, the Arizona State defense putting a lot of heat on Eric Flowers. Number 36 comes off his block and is able to apply heat and make Ortiz Jenkins throw a bit early. And what happened, Northcutt ended up slowing down, and that decimated defensive backfield still able to make some plays. Jamel Reddy right there to make one of them. But, boy, they're playing with some bare bones in the defensive backfield now.
3rd down, 14 yards to go. Ortiz will keep it, and he wants to keep that clock moving as it will be down inside 10 minutes to go, and the Sun Devils get it. This is one of the great years in Arizona history. Really the best team ever was back in 1993 when the Wildcats were co-Pac-10 champions at 10-2 and 6-2 in the conference. And they played in the Fiesta Bowl that year and beat Miami, shut them out 29-0. They had that great defense led by Teddy Bruschi and Rob Waldrop, Tony Bowie and Sean Harris. Chuck Levy was their running back, Dan White their quarterback. Here's the punt, but they won 10 games that year. This would set a school record with 11. Redmond with the catch. The return is only 4 yards. We'll be right back.
The Pacific 10 Conference. Its academic excellence and athletic prowess are as great as the area it encompasses. Stretching from the state of Washington in the northwest to Arizona in the southwest. Unparalleled in athletic success, the Pac-10 has won more NCAA championships than any other conference. The 10 members have been providing the best in quality higher education for more than a century. The Pac-10, the Conference of Champions.
You know, own a piece of NASCAR history. For the very first time ever, Dale Earnhardt in the Coca-Cola number 3 and Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the Polar Bear Coke number 1 share the track during NASCAR's race in Japan. Now you can own the collectible cars. Get them today at Pit Pass in Cartersville, but you must act now. Only a limited number are available. If you're a serious NASCAR collector, this is one offer you can't pass up. Call 770-386-1040 or visit Pit Pass at 103 South Dixie Avenue in Cartersville and get yours today. Pit Pass is your NASCAR superstore.
In a case where truth can be bought.
We really need your help. My son is dying, and the crooks won't pay for his treatment.
In over your head, son? Absolutely. Matt Damon, Claire Danes, John Voight. Do you even remember when you first sold out? John Grisham's The Rainmaker.
Welcome back to Arizona Stadium, and the big news today, Ricky Williams becomes the NCAA's all-time Division I-A career rushing leader as he passes Tony Dorsett. Kellen, where do you put Ricky among the all-time greats in college football?
Kevin, I would put him in the top 5. I have to put Tony Dorsett ahead of him, and also Walter Payton.
Okay, right now, let's get it back upstairs to Todd Ramsey and Steve Fizziou.
He really is a quality player. Ran for 259 yards rushing today. And now Arizona State will run it, but we had a chance to visit with Ricky early in the year. What a great kid who's involved in so many children's programs in that Boston area. And he's got my vote for the Heisman Trophy.
Well, not only the Heisman, but think about it. If you're going to start an NFL franchise, do you do it with a great running back or a great quarterback? I think Ricky Williams' stock has only gone up. And I think if you're the new Cleveland Browns, you take a look and say, hey, this guy's for real.
Keeley downfield, has the first down at midfield, and getting out of bounds is Kenny Mitchell. Mitchell with one of his best games ever. Prior to this, Kenny Mitchell had 5 catches in one game for 101 yards earlier this year. A 22-yard catch here, and he's over 100 yards receiving. Brian Keeley, meantime, is having one of his best games. Mitchell with 6 catches, 119 yards. A first down at the Arizona 45-yard line. Keeley to Brian Forth, and Forth very close to a first down.
And what you're able to do here, second and short, you're able to dial one up long. And John Pettis right here, quarterback coach and play caller for Arizona State. He coordinates down on the field with Dan Cazzetto. I think right now you take a shot at the end zone. Second and short, if you have the right personnel on the field, Ryan Keeley's had the hot hand. Sure enough, they come out with 4 wideouts. Spread out that Arizona offense and get a clean read.
Man coverage in the left side. They run the football to J.R. Redmond. He has the first down inside the 30-yard line. McAllister left his wide receiver, or Redmond might still be running.
Yeah, when you spread out the Arizona defense, you're able to do different things. Right here, they're going to block this man, and then J.R. Redmond is able to hit the seam once again. All they do is just pull the guard, and they more or less just block him and turn him inside, and J.R. Redmond is able to utilize his speed. He's doing well on a gimpy ankle.
3 receivers to the left. Redmond again, hammering it to the 25-yard line, where he's straightened up by Marcus Bell, who now has like 17 tackles in the game. Let's go down to Paul Sunderland.
Well, Steve, and particularly Tom Ramsey, you were mentioning Dan Cazzetto down on the sidelines, the offensive coordinator, and before the offensive line went back out on the field, he was really trying to convince them, hey, look, there are about 9 minutes left. We're just 2 scores down. You got to do 2 things. We got to protect our quarterback because he's not very mobile after the surgery, and we have to run block better, but believe you can get back in this game. Up to you guys.
Keeley gets it to the 20. Out of bounds, Kenny Mitchell. Mitchell may be playing his final game at Arizona State, the high school All-American from Peoria, Arizona. And now his 7th catch.
And I think you want to leave him on the field. He's been a playmaker along with Todd Heap for their offense tonight. Put your big guns in on the field, at least maybe gain a mismatch with their size, but right now they're elected to go 2 tight end offense. They might get a mismatch again with Todd Heap.
Heap is in the game. Keeley runs the football and gets the first down inside the 18-yard line. The run by Gerald Green. I mean, they've lost Redmond. His ankle is so sore. DeVaron Hightower won't play the rest of the game because he has a sore shoulder. So now it's Gerald Green, a little running back from Mesa Community College.
Gerald Green, of course, comes in as the 2nd leading rusher on that Arizona State team behind J.R. Redmond, 397 yards.
Former walk-on. Play action pass. Keeley to the end zone. Broken up beautifully. It was Kelvin Hunter.
I asked Rich Ellerson before the game, I said, if someone's going to have a breakout game, who do you want it to be? And he said, you know something? I'd like it to be Kelvin Hunter because we know they're going to come at him, and he's got to be able to step up and make some plays tonight. Sure enough, Kelvin Hunter right there, able to step in front of Kenny Mitchell and bat the ball away.
2nd and 10. You see Rafael Jones. Will he be coming on the blitz? No, he stays back. J.R. Redmond on the run, very little, maybe 2. Deshaun Polk on the tackle. Marcus Bell was helping clean up.
You know, one thing Arizona State has not been able to do tonight, Steve, and really because of Ryan Keeley's limited mobility, they love to bootleg and throw the ball and get the quarterback on the move. They haven't been able to do that so much offensively. Dan Cazzetto yelling instructions in, but that's one of Keeley's attributes, too. He has so many throws in the bag. He can beat you on the run, but I think that's why they continue to go to J.R. Redmond.
Third down. Broken up again, this time Chris McAllister. It is fourth down, 9 yards to go. This is the play that can decide it to see if Arizona State has a chance at winning this game. And a timeout will be taken.
They're going to call and think about it. Right here, McAllister just breaks on the ball, makes a great play.
He was named first-team All-American by Football News, and Keeley has to go into the face of McAllister's defense.
Here at VMI, we were asked to try the new Norelco Advantage for 21 days. There was quiet dissension.
I'm not giving up my blade.
And anxious inquiry.
What the heck is this? You?
But then we started to realize the lotion actually gave us a closer, smoother shave than we expected, without the nicks and cuts like bleeds. Our fear diminished. Our hopes arose, and life got a little less hairy.
Come on, babyface, move it.
The new Norelco Advantage. Put it to the test. If you don't like it, they'll give you your money back, guaranteed. You've got responsibility now.
When you have it your way, it just tastes better.
Big Bob's Exterminating. Spiders? Oh, we do spiders. Scorpions? I love the challenge. Centipedes? Centipedes are a speciality. The queen centipede. Bring her on.
The Bugs are back. Centipede on CD-ROM. Take on 5 all-new worlds or play classic style. Get your hands on Centipede for PC CD-ROM.
Well, maybe we could talk about this.
College Football Saturday on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by GTE, the official telecommunications consultant to the NCAA, and by Marriott Hotels, Resorts, and Suites. We believe when you're comfortable, you can do anything. Arizona by 15. Arizona State 4th and 9. Keeley drops back over the middle. Touchdown! Todd Heap! Another great game in the Pac-10 Conference. Every single week, it seems like 80 points are scored.
Wow. Wow, all you can say, Ryan Keeley does a great job getting the ball out, hits his 5th step, and unloads the ball to a streaking Todd Heap from his tight end position right down the middle of that Arizona defense, beating Marcus Bell with a football and scoring another 6 points for the Wildcats.
And Ryan Keeley continues his career best night with 360 yards passing. One after touchdown is good. So now they've cut it to 8. They need a touchdown, a 2-point conversion to tie it. But that man has done his job.
We never lose our love for trains. Now you can celebrate this joy with the Lionel Train Watch, a keepsake that's as much fun as Lionel trains themselves. Watch the mighty train chug its way around the watch face. Press this button and hear the whistle blast. You can even hear the train start out. Pick up speed, then chug to a stop. It's sure to delight train lovers of all ages. The precision quartz movement, brilliant gold-toned case, and rich brown leather strap make this a Lionel collectible you'll be proud to wear and show off. The Lionel Train Watch. It's motion, it's sound, it's the exciting world of Lionel trains. It comes with a collectible tin case, plus a certificate of authenticity. And it's yours for only $19.95. Order now.
To order your Lionel Train Watch for only $19.95 plus shipping, have your credit card ready and call 1-800-578-5335. Rush delivery is available. Sorry, no CODs, so call 1-800-578-5335.
Arizona with a 43-35 lead in the 4th quarter. The Sun Devil does as many push-ups as there are points, but Marcus Bell for Arizona just got beat in the play by Todd Heap.
Boy, did he. What a great throw and a catch right there. Bruce Snyder knows he's right back in the ball.
4th and 9, and they complete it. 17 yards in the touchdown. Arizona, just in case, has 9 of their 11 players up anticipating an onside kick. But they hammered away and through the end zone. So they'll ask their defense to hold on here. Arizona's offense has been wonderful, particularly in the running game. But we've got Hardcore Football on Fox Sports Net. Ronnie Lott, Bill Moss, and Ron Pitts. Talk about the toughest guys in the NFL. Hardcore Football for the serious fan. Hardcore Football, Tuesday at 8 on Fox Sports Net. Check your local listing. We'll be talking with Mike Singletary, ex-Bears linebacker. Arizona State has 1 timeout remaining. That is critical. I know you talked about one. Field goal.
Yeah, early in the third quarter on defense, they called that. Keith Smith out to direct controls for the Arizona offense.
Well, they say Smith is the better runner, but Jenkins has been that with 2 touchdowns. And here's Candidate. Is he going to do it again? He steps out of bounds, but Trung Candidate has over 250 yards rushing. He has just flown past Jim Upchurch for the most yards in one game in Arizona history. He is 14 shy of 250, now with 236 yards rushing.
Boy, and I tell you, we're talking about the quarterbacks and their running ability, but yeah, I don't think it matters. When you have number 30 lined up right behind you, just keep tossing him the football.
16 carries, 236 yards. A new Arizona record, breaking the one that was set in 1973 by Jim Upchurch, who ran for 232 against University of Texas at El Paso. Candidate again. This time he slides forward for about 3, maybe 4 yards. He's averaging 14 yards a carry. I mean, if you get 70 plays in the game, give it to him every time.
I think so. I think, you know what, as long as you can get him healthy, and he is healthy. He was nicked up a little bit last year, but he still had a great time. And Dino Babers, of course, has done a great job spreading the wealth of this offense, because there are a lot of talented individuals, but when you have a key guy like Trung Candidate, continue to hand in the ball.
Ricky Williams had 259 yards today on 44 carries. Candidate might get that many on 20 carries. So a short gain here that results in a 3rd and short. 4 minutes, 45 seconds and counting when the next play comes off. 3rd and 3. Joe Chesta on the tackle.
Yeah, you just have to be conscious that the clock will be your enemy or it could be your friend. And I tell you, Arizona, they just reel off 1 or 2 more first downs and they can pretty much sew up the game, because Arizona State with the 1 timeout just can't stop the clock.
What about play action and go for the fade? They swing it out to Northcutt. They'll ask him to get the first down, and he does.
Boy, you know, I mean, that's rolling the dice, because it's a bit of a dangerous play. It actually is a lateral, again, to Dennis Northcutt, but what they feel as though they have one of their best athletes in the flat against a defender, and you give the ball to Dennis Northcutt. He makes a little move and just loses Juwan Cherry before he's knocked out of bounds by Archuleta.
He's got that juke ability. He put it on Juwan Cherry. And now Northcutt comes to the left side, joined by Brendan Nash. Dick told me 4 minutes, 11 seconds away from his 11th win this year and a chance at the Rose Bowl. Candidate breaks outside. Here he goes. 1 more for Trung Candidate.
tell you, this guy can hit the hole, and all of a sudden he just knifes right there, and then he sidesteps a defender, and then once again able to outrun the entire Arizona State defense to the zone.
The point after touchdown is good. He has a touchdown of 80, one of 66, and maybe the clincher from 48.
Room 1203 wants to swim without floaties. Marriott, when you're comfortable, you can do anything.
The only thing as exciting as the new action drama Enemy of the State
Why are they after me? You have something they want!
is the communications technology it features.
Target's on 21. This about me. They know me. 19, 18.
Enemy of the State, only in theaters.
What the hell is happening? I blew up the building. Why? Because you made a phone call.
Experience the excitement with Phillips.
You talk about a home run hitter. It's that man with the biggest smile on his face, Trung Candidate, goes 48 yards for maybe the game clincher.
Tell you what, he looks like another number 30, Terrell Davis. I tell you, the guy just not to be taken down. Just keeps his feet moving, his legs are powerful, and just able to hit the hole going 100 miles an hour. I tell you, tonight.
Gaudy numbers.
Yeah, 18 rushes, 288, 3 touches, 48, 66, and 80. Ouch.
Well, this has been one of college football's hottest teams the last 2 months of the season. The Arizona Wildcats. Since their loss to UCLA here in Tucson, they have smothered their last 5 opponents, and they're doing it again, and Hall's going crazy in the field. Well, we talked with Dick Tomey about the Bowl Championship Series poll, and this is what he told us.
I think the BCS is a good step for college football. I think it's something that everybody just needs not to get too excited about it, and it's not about what's wrong with it. Let's just look at it, let it operate for a couple of years, and see if we like it. And if we don't, in 2002, I think it is, we have a chance to change it and do something else.
I think they have to change it, and they have to change it soon. Get an 8-team or 14 playoff.
You know, Dick said something to me interestingly 2 weeks ago. He said, you know, Ramsey goes, it is better than what we had a year ago.
What if UCLA loses, Kansas State loses, and Tennessee loses? Then what do you do at the BCS poll? What figures are they going to come up with?
You threw way too many factors in. I'll tell you December 6th.
December 6th is when the BCS will decide who plays in Phoenix in the Fiesta Bowl. Arizona State just suffered their 12th penalty in this game. Again, you're watching the duel in the desert in Tucson, Arizona. Arizona Stadium with the number 7 team in the nation. The Arizona Wildcats have a 50-35 lead over Ryan Keeley and the Arizona State Sun Devils. 50 points by Arizona tonight. I mean, I remember when 2 words not used in the same sentence were Arizona and explosive. They had the Desert Swarm defense and the Desert Snore offense. Not anymore with Dick Tomey and Keith Smith and O.J. Jenkins and Northcutt and Candidate and McDowell. I mean, Tomey's teams finished 8th or 9th in the Pac-10 offensively 7 times. Not anymore. They have 606 yards in offense, and they still have the Desert Swarm defense.
Well, you know, Rich Ellerson a year ago, the 1997 version of the Arizona defense led the Pac-10 in total defense. 98's doing just the same.
Keeley has his man for the first down at the 28-yard line. That will stop the clock. Again, Steve Physiak, Paul Sunderland, Tom Ramsey, Kevin Frazier, Kellen Winslow at Arizona Stadium in Tucson. A crowd of better than 58,000 on hand. It's the Wildcats 50, the Sun Devils 35. Kenny Mitchell with the catch for about a 9-yard gain. Arizona State actually led one time in this game 15-7 after the first quarter. And yep, about ready to hand you guys some roses. You know, I will say this. This is the only college football team in America that I can see that wears blue uniforms and the fans wear red.
You got a good point. There's a lot of red, but they actually put some paint in the stadium, mostly red, but there are some blue touches.
Keeley sends it to the sideline to Span, incomplete. So their fight song is "Go Big Blue." I mean red or.
Well, I tell you, through all this, red, blue, or white doesn't matter. Arizona's going to a top-notch bowl game, regardless of what happens.
And they better go to the Rose the way they've played the last 6 games.
Well, and they really almost have to turn and root for UCLA to beat Miami. UCLA goes down to Miami and plays their makeup game of a game that was supposed to be played earlier this year and was postponed due to the hurricane. And December 5th, that game will be played. And, of course, December 6th is when all the pairings and rankings will appear.
Lindsey Jackson with the catch, but another flag goes down. Keeley would have gone over 400 yards passing on that last throw and catch. Tell you what, I like both these football teams' chances in 1999.
Passer by the defense, 15 yards additional. First down.
And remember, you know, one interesting thing, Arizona State didn't play UCLA this year, but what happens if UCLA would have played Arizona State early in the year? I mean, Arizona State had a lot of promise to their season early on, and, you know, woulda, shoulda, coulda, but you never know.
Yeah, they play UCLA off the bat. Maybe they knocked them off. Here's Keeley going end zone, incomplete, intended for Brian Forth. And I say that because UCLA always gets better. Last year they lose their first 2 games. They haven't lost since.
No, and what's interesting, UCLA and Kansas State, those are my top 2 teams, and the reason being they have UCLA has the longest winning streak in the nation at 20, K-State right behind it with 19, but they both have great quarterbacks, experienced quarterbacks that can make plays. I think Tennessee has a great defense, a great running game. T. Martin, he's not Peyton Manning. Okay, he's done a great job playing quarterback for the Tennessee offense, but I think UCLA-Kansas State's a great matchup.
Well, he hasn't lost, Mr. Martin of Tennessee. And don't forget, coming up after the game on Fox Sports News, Run, Ricky, Run. Go right past Tony. Kentucky is upset in the Puerto Rico shootout, and Jackie Slater takes a look at the Fox scope. That is coming your way in most areas. Keeley back to throw. Completes the pass to the 25-yard line. So Ryan has thrown for over 400 yards in a game. Prior to this, his best was 302 yards against Washington earlier this year. The executive producers of Fox Sports Net are Arthur Smith and Bill Borson. And here's Keeley going to the air. Span with a great catch to the 8-yard line. The coordinating producer of College Football Saturday is Gary Garcia. Tonight's game was produced by Jerry Romano and directed by Doug Freeman. The associated director is Rick Murphy. Directors of remote operations are Debbie Kilmartin and Joe Washington. It's a 1st and goal from the 8-yard line. Keeley to the end zone, trying to hit Lindsey Jackson. And for the College Football Saturday halftime show, the coordinating producer is Roy Hamilton. The producer is Loy Maxson, and the director is Brad Toberman. The vice president of remote operations is Andrea Jenkins. So Keeley with a career best 431 and 3 touchdowns. He'll be a junior next year, and a junior with a lot of upperclassmen around him. And I'm sure Bruce Snyder would say, fellas, it's time to grow up. Don't let bad things get you down like they suffered earlier this year.
Well, exactly. And you know what? This experience gives Ryan Keeley a lot of positives for his future.
And they get the touchdown, although there is another flag down. Justin Taplin, the true freshman, with the catch. His first catch for a touchdown in his young career.
And they may call it back.
Illegal participation by the offense. 12 players on.
Well, that'll bring it back.
I'll tell you what, when you line up and you got 35 points and you need 50, put another guy on the field. Sneak one on. I only say that in jest. Of course, Bruce Snyder, again, they had a bunch of penalties tonight. They had some penalties early on, put him in not great field position, but they took advantage of actually some short field opportunities and put some points on the board and went out to the 15-7 lead. But Arizona and its running attack really took control of this game, and we thought the game might be decided in the trenches. Sure enough, credit that Arizona offensive line and that Arizona defensive line.
They swing it inside Lindsey Jackson. 15-10. Lindsey's to the 5. He will score. Well, they keep coming back. We've got 91 and counting.
Boy, talk about a great individual effort this time by Lindsey Jackson, because it's pretty much that smash screen you see so often, but he straight arms Rafael Jones, and then he's able to get into the end zone before the rest of the Arizona defense comes his way. But just a great individual that time by Lindsey Jackson.
An important point after touchdown. It is good. That means Arizona State needs just a touchdown, a 2-point conversion to tie it. There's 1:52 left. Will Dick Tomey be seeing that onside kick the way Canada and Ebon have been running?
Well, you betcha. You see an onside kick right now. Arizona State has to convert the onside kick. Remember, they still have one timeout remaining. They've done a good job at least salvaging that timeout. Now's the time for Arizona, the Wildcats, to get their hands team out. Arizona State with that one timeout remaining in it. They have enough time with 1:52. If they convert the onside kick, they'll have the ball in great field position. And the way Ryan Keeley is throwing the ball tonight is very much a possibility.
Dick Tomey still a little nervous. I'm sure he might have watched that Texas A&M game that was so electric earlier this afternoon. Texas A&M down 16 points, 23-7 with 8 minutes to go. Came back, took the lead before Major Applewhite with a minute and a half left took them right down the field with a game-winning field goal. Now Stephen Baker, the redshirt freshman from Bakersfield, California. The good hands guys up for Arizona. And it is caught by Brad Brennan. He is down at the 45-yard line. So Arizona will have it with 1:50 to go and only one timeout remaining for ASU.
Boy, I tell you, you talk about a barn burn. Everyone got their money's worth. Arizona 50, ASU 42, comes down to an onside kick, and watch, I'm sure Arizona State will call a timeout as soon as they can, but Arizona, again, just having to really, I don't even, probably, this is one first down. They just need to move the chains one time, and again.
Well, they've got the senior in there, and Kelvin Ebon. He does not turn it over very often. Smith gives it to Kelvin. Kelvin is through. He's hammered at the 45-yard line. Will actually lose 1 yard in the play. They have not stopped the clock. They'll let it go. They'll bring in an extra tight end now for Arizona and Brandon Manumaleuna and take out the fullback Paul Shields. Two receivers both go to the right side, and Jeremy McDaniel and Dennis Northcutt. Smith rolling out. Smith doesn't care if they sack him. Just stay in bounds. And the clock will wind down inside 1 minute unless Arizona State takes a timeout, and they do. With 1 minute and 4 seconds remaining in this football game. Arizona with an 8-point lead. Dick Tomey just 64 seconds away from sending the school to their 11th victory, the first time this school from Tucson has won 11 games in one season. Timeouts are gone.
Yeah, it's really a season of first for Dick Tomey. Had never been to the Rose Bowl before, never had an 11-win season, and gonna get the 11 wins. The Rose is just a matter of semantics.
Well, he is a great coach, and what a terrific job he has done.
And you know what? He really acknowledges Bill Snyder at K-State as well as doing a great job on the national spectrum.
In a small market.
Yeah, and bringing a program that was really down into national prominence.
Well, he's done a great job. 7 bowls that this club has gone to the last 10 years. He was a defensive genius that knew he had to be a little more creative offensively. So they brought in Homer Smith. Dino Babers is now the offensive coordinator. And this club has really been exciting in 1998. Averaging 33 points per game coming into this. They've scored 50 tonight against their arch rivals, the Sun Devils. 3rd down and long. Smith will run. Keith to midfield. Keith past the 45 and driven out of bounds. That will stop the clock with 58 seconds left. How about that?
Boy, I tell you, clock management, you don't want to step out of bounds. Stay in bounds, if at all possible. Not a wise use of the clock. And Dick Tomey knows it. All of a sudden, now you're facing 4th down. You got to kick the ball. You have no choice. Now you set yourself up.
Do you rush the kicker or do you play for the return?
You know what? I rush the kicker because you never know what can happen. By rushing the kicker, you may force Springston into a bad kick, and with number 21 back there, tell you what, I like the chances.
He brought one back 76 yards against Stanford earlier this year for a touchdown. They just hit it. And is it in the end zone, or will it be down at the 4-yard line? They're saying it's down at the 4-yard line, possibly the 3. Now they're calling it a touchback. And I thought that because I was waiting, because I thought that one young man had his foot in the end zone when he jumped up and tapped it back in. One official made the mark at the 3. The other started waving his hands. So 80 yards for Bruce Snyder with his club down by 8. It had to end this way, Tom.
It had to, and all you want is an opportunity at the end of the game to make some plays. And I tell you, the way college football, how exciting it is these days, and all the offensive production, especially what we've seen tonight. Don't count Ryan Keeley out. 454 yards tonight alone.
Keeley wings it. Almost picked off by Kelvin Hunter. His receiver fell down. Hunter was the only man who had a shot at it. If he picks it, Arizona seals it because Hunter would have been gone.
Well, you can pick up a couple big chunks, and remember, if they get enough yardage for a first down, the clock will stop with the movement of the chains.
Span with the catch. He is down at the 30-yard line. He will get the first down. It's right at the 30-yard line. The clock winding down at 33 seconds, but if it's a first down, it stops. They're saying it's shy of a first down. Keeley backing up. Now he'll go downfield looking for Mitchell. And he made a brilliant catch! Unbelievable!
Boy, Kenny Mitchell just running down the heart of the Wildcat defense, and Ryan Keeley with a short yardage situation, but boy, Mitchell makes a great catch.
Now to the 28-yard line, 10 seconds remaining. The clock continues to roll. That may be it. Keeley hammers the pass down. Let's see if they've called the game over with.
Left on the clock. 1 second.
One second left. It had to end this way, Tom.
Boy, oh boy, I tell you, Ryan Keeley, very lucky that time, but you know what? He had enough wherewithal to ground the ball. He has 1 second left, therefore 1 play. And remember, if they do score, they will, even with 0 time left, you'll have enough time for a conversion attempt. And obviously having to go for 2 if they put it in the end zone here.
4-man rush shown by Arizona. Will Deshaun Colt blitz? Yes, he does. Keeley steps up, looks downfield, flips it end zone. Broken up! And for the first time in the school's history, Arizona wins 11 games in 1 season. Despite almost 500 yards passing by Ryan Keeley, Arizona wins 50-42. The Arizona Wildcats with a 50-42 lead. Let's go down on the field to Paul Sunderland.
All right, with head coach Dick Tomey. What can you say? You have a lot of weapons. You've showed them to us all this year, and you needed every one of them against Arizona State.
Well, we did. It just, I thought both teams fought hard. You know, we all made a bunch of mistakes, but I think in a rivalry game like that, so that's the way it goes. But, I mean, they played with their hearts, and we did too, and we're just pleased to come out on top. I think Trunk candidate obviously was just absolutely phenomenal tonight.
10-1, 10 wins for the first time ever. Now, I was getting to that. Yeah. Now 11. Your thoughts about this team?
Well, I think this is as good a team as anybody. I just believe this team has really answered every challenge, and this is just such a great feeling because this rivalry is so intense, and this makes 6 out of 7 years, or 5 out of 6 years, and it just feels really good, and I just couldn't be more pleased for our players, for our seniors, for all our guys. Come here, Nance.
Congratulations to you, Coach. A great year. Let's send it over now to Kevin Frazier and Kellen Winslow.
The goalposts could be headed to the ground at Arizona Stadium. 11-1, the Wildcats finish it. A lot of folks here now thinking that the Wildcats headed to the Rose Bowl, but hold on, it's not a done deal, Kellen. They will need a little help from UCLA.
Yeah, they will need a lot of help from UCLA. It's going to be kind of strange that they're going to be cheering for UCLA. But if UCLA beats Miami, they go to the BCS championship. Then Arizona goes to the Rose Bowl. But if Miami upsets UCLA goes to the Rose Bowl, Arizona steps down a bowl level.
All right, Kellen, thanks a lot. 92 points, the highest scoring game in this series. You know, it's been a super season of college football here on Fox Sports Net. Right now, let's get it up to Tom and Steve.
And thank you very much, Kevin and Kellen. It really has been a wonderful year in the Pac-10 Conference. Yet another game decided on the last play of the contest.
Well, it's just been amazing. All year long, we've had our share of great football games. This game, no exception. Arizona shows a lot of firepower right down the stretch. And as Kellen said, interesting to see what happened. UCLA goes in to play Miami. Miami has to go to Syracuse first and play. Be interesting how they come off a short week. You got to remember, UCLA comes off a bye week, but Arizona's fate lies in the hands of what UCLA does.
Despite what happens with UCLA, this season has been a tremendous success for the Arizona Wildcats. But throughout this year, as the goalposts come down in Tucson, we have seen just some fabulous college football in the Pac-10 Conference. Let's go back and take a look. Jenkins steps up. He goes. He does. He did.
That was one of the most phenomenal plays you'll see in college football.
Healy's going to throw. He's going for the touchdown. There it is! Touchdown, Tarek McDonald! Out from the 28-yard line. Another thriller in the Pac-10. Setting up. He has led his team to so many comebacks the last couple of years. He's going deep on first down, and he has a man wide open. It is Brad Milsey. Yes, they will. And Simonson has the first down. Simon to the 5. Touchdown, Oregon State.
To kick off a couple years ago, 104 yards for a score against UCLA.
From Kennedy, look out.
He's gone.